Well,
we did meet. Apparently, the dude is part of the monks. So,
Bourgeoisie
he
deserves
said
to be
he-
pissed off.
well,
We met a guy with M. No, we met a guy that M is with.
We met the group that M is from.
There we go. That's what I was looking for.
you did
yeah,
indeed.
the monk
Uh,
that live in the sewers.
they live in the
No,
sewers.
they don't live in the sewers. They
but
operate out of the sewers.
they're nice sewers. This is a rich city. This is rich people's poop. It's basically
Everyone knows that-
gold.
Yeah, rich people shit don't stink.
It's true, it smelled like cinnamon buns. That is, I mean, basically what happened was, you know, you went to the refugee district, you saw the refugees, you, did some research into basically, like city planning and city planners, and, Henley went out on a date with Adelaide, and they ran into the Bishop Usul, who gave him some mind scans and stuff. Free mind scans. I mean, they're so rich they can offer those for free here. That's pretty
Speaking of
nice.
which, just because I'm clear, are we planning on like taking that dude down?
Maybe, it depends.
I
Okay.
don't know. Those mind
Yeah,
scans are
it
coming free
depends
from the
on how this
government
plays
and
out.
socialism.
He did some mind scans. Henley's like, you know, don't do that. Which, to be fair, the Bishop didn't seem to really take personally that he said don't do that. He's like, oh, okay. And then he got up and left. There you also saw Zara al-Din, one of his courtesans, one of his many courtesans. The Bishop Usul has several, basically, concubines. And let's see, that happened. I'm trying to remember what else happened. Like I said, you met the librarian. Turned out that was with you. Turned out to be part of the actual shadow monks as well. He's sort of keeping an
He's
eye on
actually
you.
Grandpa.
He was able to give you some information. Even report back a little bit on M. M obviously is kind of, you know, in debriefing essentially. It's the type of thing that probably would take a long time because M's been gone for a long time. But that's sort of the most important stuff that happened. Does anybody else remember anything important that happened?
Not really.
Since it's been 2 weeks, so
We staked out the house, and we were warned that they would contact us, and they did contact us direct. I had thought that it was Dragon.
Usul.
Usul, thank you.
Yep.
I thought it was Usul in disguise at first, and it was revealed that it was the monks. Which, I'll be honest, that was actually a really cool scene. Max fought the man.
yeah,
The man won.
the man.
The
I
man
kind of
won.
Karened the man, and the man won.
You
Yeah,
didn't Karen him. You like sad SJW'd him.
you're you know, strong, but not whole city strong in a way.
I never actually fought him.
Well, obviously, you,
And
Yeah,
it's
the man-
Max.
you probably wouldn't win one-on-one.
Mm.
And I'm glad.
But so essentially, you still know what you're here for, looking for an item. You sort of gotta have a more general lay of the land of how things are going in the city, and sort of the movers and the shakers. You know, the refugees that exist in their own little slummy area at the far outskirts of the city, sort of the dirtiest, poorest part. You know that the Shadow Monks are in heavy operation here. They spread, or they sort of take in information from everywhere and basically disseminate it where they see fit. And you know that perhaps the Bishop Usul, you know that they don't work for the Bishop Usul, but they don't work against him either. They are a neutral party. For the right price or right enticements, they are more than happy to gather information and pass it along to pretty much anyone.
One other thing that we did that was tantamount to how all this occurred, we visited the refugee camps
Yes.
at the poorest region of the city.
Oh, you did, and that's sort of where you ran into that one thing where it's like, oh, there's people there. That was another avenue of hitting down into the.
Oh yeah, that's right. And then y'all
place.
started accosting him in his house. We were like, we need to get in there, and everyone was just like, why?
Yeah. Yeah, we were kind of wasting our time trying to fucking
Ocean's
start
11 over
something that didn't
here.
get started.
Look, Ocean's 11's competent. I wouldn't call us that.
Oh,
Oh, so you were Ocean's 8.
Sarah
Why?
says
Because
hi.
they're women?
Damn, got. I mean, there's a
yes,
Runa.
that's
Yeah,
exactly
it's-
why.
Sarah says hi.
Hi.
It was more like
Hello.
Ocean's 11 brain cells. Hi.
Now,
Okay, that was good, Beaver. Beaver can have that joke.
it's true. Good job, Beaver. Now, you
High five
know
me. Yay.
that
Beaver,
Did-
high five the camera.
the Bishop
Yeah.
Usul is.
Hang on, I gotta turn it on real quick.
Oh yeah, he's got to turn his camera on.
All right, ready? 3, 2, 1.
Good.
Got it.
I'm proud of
Broke the camera.
Horrendous.
you. Broke the camera. I was waiting for Rick's cat to jump into the air and attack him.
She's
Now,
not like that. Don't. She's a good girl.
Now, the Bishop, you strongly suspect at this point that the Bishop Usul, aka Ursula, the ancient blue dragon, is pretty well aware of the fact that Adelaide is here. No, not likely to hide that. And so, even though obviously the common man doesn't know, at the very least, some people in the know are in the know about the fact that the Holy Emperor of Stalreich is currently in Parzula, having arrived on an airship, which is kind of now being kind of heavily watched.
Did we ever determine whether or not?
Whether or not.
Anyone in his court knows he's a dragon?
We do know that. The M's people do. And
I meant in his court, not
Yeah.
the monks.
M's people do, the High Command do, but it is a very hard. Or no, you said the High Court, like, they suspect it, right?
They suspect it.
Because what he does is he changes his appearance to match a new offspring.
Yes, he.
Right? So he's not disguised as an emperor. He's disguised as an imperial lineage.
Yes,
Which
he's
is
an entire
awesome.
lineage. He, has an heir that comes about, and that heir, whenever it's time, he is basically in the form of that heir, and it's, the last guy dies off, and he takes over. This, like I said, it's his personal dragon horde, this entire city, and it's wealthiest city in the
Is
world.
it like a possession thing, or does he kill
No,
off
he's able to
people?
he's able to.
He just takes the form.
He
of
just
multiple
takes the
people,
form
right?
of people.
Okay.
So
So
he can
is
change
the idea
himself. Now that
What does
means
he do with the original?
the original, you'd have to talk to
Let's-
him
let's
about
let
that, because there's
like,
more
yeah, I
than
was
one
gonna say
way
that-
that he's
that's
dealt with that. Sometimes there hasn't been an original at all. Sometimes there has been.
He could also just say they died, and who are you gonna argue with him?
Exactly. But that's sort of where you are. And you're still, like I said, here trying to undertake a specific task. You, like I said, the Shadow Monks have gotten in touch with you through the librarian. The Bishop knows that you're there and hasn't really played his hands yet. So what would y'all like to do in the city?
Did I tell them that I met him? I don't remember.
I don't know.
Well, in that case, I want to make sure that I tell all of them that I, in fact, that I met the bishop and that he tried to read our minds. Oh, I did, because he told me he knows about Adelaide. That's
Yeah.
right, my bad.
Do you know what all he got from your head? Like, is that the thing that we can know? Like,
got to ask
what
Adelaide. Does Adelaide
no.
know? I mean, does she have any idea?
Yeah,
She doesn't know exactly. You can, well, Tommy's not here, but if you're able, you go and you talk to Aruna, who, it was likely just a pretty straightforward, basic detect, like, thoughts spell, which just gets
General.
surface general stuff, and it didn't seem like he probed deeper. Like I said, he was successful technically on both of you. He was able to read your minds, but he was able to know it. You knew whenever he was sort of pushing into your mind.
But there's no like indication of what got
Not exactly. It would just
bruised
be
through.
it would be the most surface initial thoughts on the creature, on their mind at the moment. It was likely their date, sort of thinking about each other and that sort of thing.
Okay,
We
okay.
all
And
know
then
Adeline was thinking about that Henley dick.
Probably.
She was also thinking about hoping no one recognizes her there or something like that.
Amongst other things, a little bit of sort of flavoring in of the worry about the refugees in the city, the date, her hidden appearance, that sort of thing. All that was probably on the surface. And he
Much
did
of a
not
problem.
probe deeper.
I'm sorry. How much of a problem is it that he knows that she's here?
I mean, he
Yeah,
didn't
that's
really
here.
seem to care. I
It
mean,
will depend on exactly what he does with it.
what is he gonna do? He can't outright kill her here. That would cause a war, wouldn't it? And he doesn't. And like, if he wanted to, you think he would have just done it then?
Still knowing
I'm not saying
certain
it's-
things isn't gonna help him in the whole
I'm not
statecraft
saying it's not
department.
bad. I'm just saying I don't know if he's. Do we know if he's evil?
You don't know if he's evil.
I'm asking them like what we know about his what we know of his ill intentions about at all.
I don't think we know. I mean, all we know is what it says in the book.
What does the book
Yeah,
say?
how was his demeanor like when he was seeing you? Was he aggressive, hostile, curious?
Actually, I told him to stop reading our minds, and he smiled and said, "Okay."
Yeah, so nothing
Interesting.
specific to Ursula, but just blue dragons in general. Vain and territorial.
Okay, I apologize, Cat knocked over a vase. I did have a question regarding the lineage thing.
Yeah.
Is it just like we'll see Bishop Usul and then we will, we being the people of Barzala, they'll just stop seeing him and then they'll start seeing somebody else? How does that cover up work?
Zara would know. There's actually a mixture in some cases. In sometimes
We were actually just talking about
there is
this.
actually a original, like there is an actual physical person that, you know, whenever they're of a right age and he's ready to move on, you know, he'll kill them and take their place and be like, all right,
Okay,
that's me now.
that's what
I
I-
was assuming.
That's what I assumed.
That is
What I
not-
want to know, was there someone dying?
That is not what always happens, however. Sometimes he will whole cloth invent somebody, and take theirs, and you know, it's like, this is my son from blah blah blah, or he'll, you know, you haven't seen him, but essentially, it's a mix of both. Whenever he's opportunistic about it, or she's
Sure.
opportunistic about it.
Okay. No, that's cool. I assumed that was kind of how he was keeping up appearances.
You do.
We don't know that.
You don't know that. I
don't
will.
know shit.
Hold on. I will send you something. Let me actually use that right.
Is this
Well,
thing Zara knows? Okay.
Yes, that's what Zara does know that much.
Zara!
Is Zara a friend or foe? Because I wasn't there for her.
Boy, you don't.
You don't know.
Well,
Maybe Zara doesn't even know.
well, okay. What was our interaction with her? Is it just Connor's other character, or did the group actually interact with her? I don't know any of that either. I'm asking in
Yeah,
and
no,
out
that's
here.
fine. The group did interact with her. They knew she was from this region of the world. They knew she was on the run from someone. They knew that she was a kind of like Carmen Sandiego, Mask of Many Faces kind of deal. And
Okay.
that she was very nervous about someone finding her. And then Ito showed back up and was broke and was about to basically take up a bounty on her that was requested by the diplomat from Parzula that was banging Adelaide. And then we kidnapped Adelaide and we got a little sidetracked.
You know,
I think-
as you do.
I think that was the gist. Did I miss anything?
That's good enough.
If that's the case, did you recognize Adelaide? Can I tell if she recognized Adelaide?
Adelaide's never seen her. Adelaide was banging the diplomat.
Yeah,
and
but
put the
does she?
kid out.
But does she know? Does she know what Adelaide looks like?
I don't think so. Zara was literally just passing through the capital at the same time we were. That was it.
It's an axe.
All right. So you
right.
reconvene and sort of gather your resources and what you've learned, and sort of decide what to do next. What precautions you should take. And so, what would you like? Would anyone like to do anything before I push the scene forward?
Well, you said this wasn't going to be a fighting episode, so I'm going to go attack the blue dragon now.
I mean, you
I
can.
would like to ask Max's opinion on universal basic income.
Max's opinion or Venta's opinion?
Yes.
Oh no, Max will talk about
Or Bernie's opinion.
Venta's voice. Venta's voice changes into a way you've never heard before, as he tells you exactly how he feels about universal basic income.
Max will tell you his favorite Jay-Z album, his favorite Jay-Z song.
It's a hard knock life.
No, it's a joke, Max. Because Andrew Yang said he
That
was a
wasn't a
favorite
question.
Jay-Z, and then they asked him what his favorite Jay-Z song is, and he couldn't answer the question.
JZ.
Jesus.
Jesus. Alright, well, if that's the case, you find that, the time you spend in Parzula, doing sort of research day passes pretty quickly, is after you've returned to the airship, or your library. The guards never disappear from the docks. They stand there beneath the hot sun and glittering blue scale mail, their pole arms shimmering, just catching the light as they, like sentinels, watch the airship. And this goes on for some hours before there's a slight bit of movement between these four guards as they sort of, standing on the side, sort of snap to attention as there is apparently a messenger of some sort in fine blue robes that has like bronze. It has a high collar with bronze around the edges of it, bearing all sorts of holy insignias on it. She strides forward.
As
Note.
she's walking, I
Yep.
stand at the edge of the ship and I shake my fist like an old man and I go, "We don't want any!"
Oh, you used the wrong voice for that, Venta.
Well, that's good enough. They all turn around and leave.
Old man yells at someone from Cloud District.
We need to good. We need Venta to get disguised self so that we can start having in canon Bernie Sanders.
It's true.
I'm not sure if sorcerers learn disguise self.
Who cares?
The woman confidently and elegantly strides up to the edge of the ship as you can see Nipsey sort of stands forward slightly, Carrington behind her almost protectively, as the woman sort of makes an elegant low bow and her mouth splits into a wide grin as she says, I offer you greetings from my master, Bishop Usul, and deliver upon to you this letter.
Is it for
this
me?
Is this the next day?
Yes.
I
He
actually
says-
asked her if it's for me.
It is an invitation to the Holy Emperor of Stolreich.
Is he upset that I told him to stop reading her mind? I asked him that.
The
You said
bishop,
this is a woman?
the bishop does not get upset.
Is he upset that I called his guards mean names?
He's probably less upset about that than what I did.
But she sort of shakes her head. I don't think he even knows that happened.
Will
Yeah.
he be upset if I call you mean names?
Please don't.
She smiles and says, I will not take it personally. You are a foreigner in a strange land.
I said I apologize for my friend's actions.
This
Which is
land
weird
certainly
because
is
normally people are
strange.
apologizing for my actions.
Nope, I
Thank
don't
you,
like
thank
it.
you for the invitation, and I will make sure it is received.
She bows low once again, and she turns and walks away.
Was the monk representative with us at this time?
The librarian is
Thank you. That's what it
around.
was.
Yes.
Is he hanging out on our ship?
At first you don't think that he is, but you actually find that he is in M's room. And he sort of has gone through M's things, shaking his head. Sloppy.
Well, clearly
Floppy.
we found M's lover.
Didn't we already find M's lover?
I don't know. I was making a joke. I get
I
the letter to
think that could be
Adelaide.
a lot of people.
Does M
There's
have
a lot.
a
There's
lover?
a lot of lovers in this campaign. Let's
M
be
has a
honest.
lot of lovers, and that one very confused owlbear.
M loves everyone. Sloppy,
Yeah.
sloppy, sloppy. That's why he got removed from the order and sent off to the damn far reaches of the world.
Sus.
Can I look at what he's
Yeah,
like
wait, he's saying
scanning?
I thought M was like super. I thought he was a neat freak.
No, it's sloppy
I was
as
gonna say,
in
can I?
it's sloppy
Oh.
that he's got his damn costuming out where anybody can get into it.
Oh yeah, as he's doing, I
Generally
walk and go.
messy.
I gotta bring this back to you.
He just shakes his head.
I like the idea of Henley handing something to the librarian, not realizing he's not M, but just carrying on because he doesn't care enough to know the difference.
It's like, oh hey, you left this.
I go, sorry. Adelaide said I need to look nice.
You look like a fine young man to me.
No, she meant I need to look presentable. I know I look nice. It's the beard.
But he takes it and he just sort of looks around and he ends up just throwing it on the floor. M will fix it.
Damn, rude
You're
ass
not
motherfucker.
M?
No, I'm the librarian.
Well, I don't know. He changes shapes.
M's busy. If you're so desperate to
Well,
talk to him, you should be able to
well,
get in touch with him later today once his debriefing
I wasn't.
is
I was
done.
just. I was bringing him back his clothes I borrowed.
Well, they all look like.
Uh,
Yeah. Okay, well.
You'll
are you?
apologize. I'm just, no.
Who-
A little
Who
on
are
edge.
you though? Because I don't know. I don't know if you're supposed to be here.
He says, I am supposed to be here. I came on the ship with y'all.
I don't think I was
He's
there
not
for
very
that.
attentive.
Was I there for that?
He sort of pauses and says, I might have remembered someone like you. I was with I met the short one.
I have to go
Short
to
one?
Yeah. The other monk.
They're all.
Mr. Reed, Master Reed
Oh, I was
Underbow.
about to say they are all shorter than me. You guys be more specific than that.
Well, you know what? You might be shorter than you, but you aren't a master of a monk order. That's for sure.
I beat a master of a monk order.
Must not been
He was in
much
a-
of a master.
He was in a free with a big scimitar. Here, I have the scimitar. I take the scimitar out.
He leans in and examines it. Sort of scratches his chin. Says, I can't say I know him, unfortunately.
He was honorable.
But
And
I
gig.
think.
he
He did something with shadows. He stepped on my shadow, and then it like hurt me.
but he sort of says, sounds fancy.
Yeah.
Well,
He
but
also threw fireballs out of his feet.
he beyond that, is just, around to until as a contact until M gets back, which should be later in the day. But you received the note.
I am gonna go find Klaus because I'm pretty sure Klaus is a zombie. So I want him to read it in case it's poison, because I think zombies can't be poisoned.
That adds up.
Yeah, that I guess. There is some math there. I'm not sure how the numbers line up, but they definitely add up to something.
I don't know. I know you do things with undead, so I think you are dead because the.
I like it. No, I like it. Let's do it. Let's do it.
I go find Klaus, and I'm like, Klaus, can you open this? I don't know if it's poison or not, and I assume that people like you are immune to that.
One, that's racist. Two, give it to me. I'll drink it right now.
Yeah. I mean,
One that's
if,
racist, you give it.
if you're worried about poison, yeah, I can help you with that. But I can tell you right now, it's still gonna fuck me up either way. Either way.
Klaus is like,
Are you not a zombie?
No.
Klaus is like,
Just a
never
little-
before
just
having
a
been
little
offended by
fucked
something I 100% agree with.
Oh, I thought you were a
That's-
zombie.
Well, in either case, you can give me the letter.
Alright, hit him to let.
I'll inspect it for any sort of poison or divination or
You
anything.
can roll a investigation check on it.
Investigation. That's a +1. No, that's +6.
In my defense, you probably smell like death.
That's a 1.
I mean, it looks like a pretty. I mean, it's a standard letter. It's got an envelope. It's got a seal on the back of blue wax. Don't see anything wrong with it. Doesn't smell like anything except paper.
Yep. So I'm just gonna pop it open.
Well, we know that well, from that, we know Usul does not stoop to anthrax.
As soon as you open it, it's anthrax.
Damn.
All
I
right.
was right.
Whenever you open it, you break the seal. Almost holding your breath, expecting, anything. An explosion, an alarm. Nothing. Pop the seal open. Inside is a very small, basically, letter, small card. An invitation to dinner.
Wow, the calligraphy on this is actually quite fantastic.
It has that beautiful calligraphy. It's beautifully made. Heavy parchment.
Yeah, gold font and everything.
In
It's
the,
fucking
in the back
awesome.
of your head, you hear nuclear launch detected.
I
Oh,
can't
no.
read it. It's too fancy.
An invitation for Adelaide and her guests.
Yeah, not to go into lie, the cursive Z is a little fucked up, so, I mean,
Oh
I wonder
man,
why you can't
don't
read
say
it.
that to him because he will kill you over there. Don't say that to her. She'll kill you. But yeah, that's that's all it is. It's an invitation to dinner.
Never call out a blue dragon's penmanship.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, how does Ito feel about the invitation?
Roll. Ito, you're a noble, so give me a charisma history check.
He's clearly trying to kill us all.
You're gonna have to walk me through how I do that.
Are you proficient with history?
Yes.
Then it's add your proficiency bonus and your charisma bonus.
Charisma plus. God damn.
This is essentially because you're a noble, you have a knowledge of the formalities of stuff like this.
So I have a +5 to history and a +5 to charisma.
So it's +10.
$14. But hold up, I gotta check my.
Okay. Wow, your portent dice is a 20.
Damn.
All right, so we gotta force some sort of combat.
Okay, 14. Sorry.
All right, you know, like I
No,
said,
we use that when we want to convince Usul to just work with us completely and not do anything bad.
I'm sure that'll work. You know, like I said, this is your noble background is probably going to be important for this whole game session. A invitation like this is simple and straightforward. It, you know, is just an invitation to dinner, but it drips with all sorts of extra meanings and implications, from who she invited Adelaide and her guests. Do you take everyone, all the party? Do you just take her advisors? What do you wear? What do they wear? There's this whole this is more than just an invitation of dinner. This is a play of power dynamics in a sense. And at the same time, it's also not one that you can just easily say no to.
Is Adelaide present?
She was not present whenever it was opened. However, she is on the boat.
I wish Tommy were here.
What do you want him to do?
I don't know.
I shouldn't have slashed his friend's tires.
I would take the invitation to Adelaide, I think, and I would ask, I would say her like, hey, the bishop has invited you and guests to attend. You probably need to play this carefully.
She sort of takes it and looks at it, and she sort of flips it over, checking to see if there's anything more, and sort of nods her head. I mean, I suppose it would be quite rude to say no to it, and considering that there's a large population of Stahlreich refugees in the city right now, I would hate to put them in any sort of danger by imposing or causing any wrath by the bishop.
I think a hostage situation is a little low brow for him. Or
Perhaps, but maybe not. She says, but she looks at it and, she says, it's for tonight at 8. The Azure Vault.
that's his palace, right?
Yes.
Well,
Obviously, I have to take you along. You are chief advisor, but... But yeah. But she is looking to you for some advice, essentially.
have I been to any functions featuring these kind of people from this region of the world?
From this region... Probably not of this high a caliber. You've definitely probably eaten with people from from Bayaz Kumlahar before. But of this stature, of this sort of magnitude, no.
Okay. I don't imagine this is a trap.
Dang.
If he wanted to capture you, one, he could have done it last night. Two, he could do it right now.
Maybe he just wants to read all of our minds.
I think that we should assume that anything that we can think of, he probably already knows.
Like I said though earlier, and all joking aside, he didn't really seem malicious when I met him, and if he wanted to do anything, he could have done it. I mean, like,
Well, at the very least, I probably should not go just in case he tries to read me and sees stuff that he doesn't like. Considering the things that I'm involved with are a little bit more severe.
I don't think there's any problem with it because he could glean that from us as well.
I mean, yeah, but he also can't kill me if I'm not in the room.
But we don't know his exact plans either, so.
Yeah, but I don't know that either. I don't know what his plans are.
Knowing that Klaus is doing something and knowing what Klaus is doing, very different things.
Well, she says, do you think I should, like, wear, the most impressive stuff I've got? The sword and the crown, or... I mean, I am the Holy Emperor.
Maybe not the crown, but I would say dress nice.
Well, I do have
What are you
some
gonna
very
do
fine clothes.
while we're doing this then, Klaus? What are you doing while we do this then?
Oh, there might be some for
I
Klaus
don't
to
know.
do,
I guess
don't
there might be something for me to do.
You act like I'm not gonna find something.
Library shit.
No, I was just
exactly.
asking Klaus what he.
Alright.
I mean, I don't have a general plan, but I can tell you right now, the plan would be pretty fucked up if I was to be gleaned on by that dragon.
You could always go to the sorry, it was a cathedral, wasn't it? Not actually a library.
They are, it's kind of both, but it is a cathedral that has libraries and storage in it. There's a very sort of religious bent to a lot of these things, especially the
You could always
public
go back
libraries.
to that and continue my work, poring over those tomes.
Certainly possible.
Klaus, do you plan to kill this dragon?
I don't intend to, unless it's necessary.
Yeah, but like, is your buddy gonna try and raise him from the dead if he winds up dead?
About to say that'd be a nice zombie to
Well,
have. Right,
that would be a nice zombie to have. You're right.
this is why I thought he was a zombie.
No, he does seem very zombie-ish. I'll give you that.
I'm kind of straddling the line, honestly. In all fairness, I am very much straddling the line. There's a lot of gray area with this guy.
And the
Mostly
Redeemer's
it's-
always in the back of your mind.
When I was around him, he did have an entourage with him. So, if he was gonna do something, I assumed that it'd be difficult for him to do it because people are always watching. I think that Usul has to tread carefully with what they do.
I don't think Azul is afraid of his people finding out that he's a dragon. I think that
Then why doesn't he reveal it? I mean,
Yeah, then why keep up appearances?
yeah, why does he hide it and do the whole family thing if he doesn't want them to know?
well, because there's other
Imagine
dragons.
this.
Well, no, by
Yeah,
entourage,
imagine-
I mean he is surrounded by women, like court people he's courting, not like his servants and stuff. That's what I assume, right, Colin? That's what I saw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got,
he was
he's got
surrounded by
courtesans and concubines.
yeah, it was courtesans and concubines, not like normal people, not like
Normie people.
yeah, I said normal, but I mean like they were more normal than like the person who just delivered.
Henley
this letter
gets
to
dressed
us.
up fancy, he goes on one date, and now we're fucking normies to him.
No, this was Rick talking.
A little bit of both. Henley would still say that Henley would still recognize that a concubine's a normal person compared to his, archbishop or something.
I mean, I think I would leave this up to Adelaide, really. Really see what she thought.
Go to the bathroom right quick.
But that's also because, like, I don't want to split this into 4 different iterations of Ocean's 11 for Colin's sake.
Yeah.
She says, I mean,
Ocean's
it was
44.
for me and guests, so I'm suppose anybody that wants to tag along. The only one I think should definitely be along is you, for sure. As basically a chief political advisor. Maybe,
I think if Henley doesn't appear, there might be comment.
I suppose so, yes. Aruna, likely.
Be real nice. Verna up here.
As
I
for
could take Reed to the Moonstone Eagles. We could go down and like introduce ourselves formally to them.
that is possible, yes. Like I said, outside of those, I wouldn't want to seem like I'm overwhelming him or imposing on him.
I don't think that's possible.
Maybe not.
Is the librarians here?
Yeah, the librarian was in Im's room.
Did he give his opinion?
I don't think we say anything though about it.
Not really. You can ask him about it.
Yeah, I would.
Alright, you can see at this point, he's out of M's costume chest. And actually talking to Lincoln, saying, "You could get me that good a deal on poisons, huh? It's not bad." As you approach him, and he turns, raises an eyebrow, and he sees, he looks at you and says, "Ah, did you get the invitation?"
Is this a known
It was
concept?
quite suspected, quite suspected. I must say,
Wow.
he doesn't offer many personal invitations.
So we shouldn't be scared of the threat.
If he wanted to kill you, he would just do it.
Yeah, that was our thinking.
I don't think you've got a lot to fear in that regard, at least physically. Now, mentally, she likes to play games, but at her heart, she is a business person. How do you think she accumulated the city?
Is Aruna our only elf?
Thankfully.
Yes.
And
No,
do-
Max the half elf, isn't he?
Yeah,
Damn it.
well, I don't think half elves benefit from the
The charm thing? Yeah, they do.
They do.
I think they get the charm thing, but not the sleep thing.
But I think they are resistant to being put to sleep, but not immune to being put to sleep. Don't
I'm
they?
immune to being put to sleep.
That's only because you want to do it yourself.
Jesus.
You have advantage on saving throws against being charmed, and you can't magically be put to sleep.
That's for half elf.
Yep.
But then again, he would know that. I think myself, Aruna, Henley, and Venta. Although I don't know. Do we know about Venta's escapades yesterday?
Escapades?
I have no clue if he told you or not, so.
I mean, I imagine
You
we
did-
have noticed the increase
You have seen
in,
an increased amount
presence.
of guards. You have seen
She could
guards.
tell us, but he wasn't. But he's not there.
So, well, you can only suspect. But, yeah. Sort of what he tells you. He's not surprised you got the invitation, that's for sure. Doesn't think it's a trap. Or anything like that. Well, at least not... Doesn't think your lives are going to be in danger in any way, shape, or form. Whether it's a trap, well, there's more than one way that things can be a trap. Sort of, once again, reasserts that at the end of the day, the Bishop Usul, aka the Green Dragon Ursula, or the Blue Dragon Ursula, they are, you know, a business person. That sort of thing. They're pretty formal a lot of the time. But that's what he knows. That's what he just tells you straight off. It happens at 8. It's pretty early in the day right now. If you've got any preparations you want to make, certainly can. The airship itself is pretty heavily watched. I want everyone to roll a perception check for me.
That's a 22, a 22, 26.
All right,
I got credit.
got a bunch of perception high rolls on
Henley
the
gave
unimportant
1,000 yards
rolls.
there and said we're being watched.
Okay, for some reason
15.
it's just not... 1 second, let me try this again.
Everyone's like, no shit, Sherlock.
Wait, Bruce.
Oh, wait, hang on. I think that's
we
actually a 20. I think.
All
Let me
right. Well,
Yeah, that's actually a 20.
you, let's see. I think everyone except Reed notices. After maybe an hour or so, the guards standing around, you hear sort of laughter coming from them as they're all sort of gathered around another guard who's telling a very animated story. You can see the guard that's talking sort of holds up his polearm in a very rude gesture, like it's some sort of penis, sort of crouching in between his legs as he sort of swings it around wildly. As they seem distracted for a while, at least momentarily not paying attention to you, as the fifth guard sort of shakes his head and pats one on the back and sort of points at him and says a joke and turns and he starts walking down the gangplank. And almost casually, he climbs on board the boat.
Venta, did you tell us about your endeavors of last night?
Yeah, I would have told stories about it. I thought it was funny.
So Venta's not coming with us.
Venta is coming with. Venta is coming with.
Venta,
No,
stay.
I mean,
No.
not to go into lie, it probably put them a little bit at ease knowing that he's contained, I guess.
Well, I was thinking maybe Venta could help you by being a distraction.
Colin.
Oh. Oh, can
Colin,
you be
you
a
said that,
distraction? Hell yeah, the guards love following me around. Okay.
You said that everyone except Reed noticed this about the guards.
Yep.
I gaslight Reed into believing that what's about to happen isn't real because he couldn't see it.
Oh my god.
And I'm sorry, we saw guards coming on board.
Yeah, one of the guards just casually walked on board.
Don't know what you're talking about. No one is there.
Sort of looks at all of you and he says, "You ever notice how soldiers always have to make jokes about their dicks? Always the same, city to city, place to place." He sort of smiles and sort of almost seems to lift his shoulders and shrug slightly as he looks at each of you. Says, "What?"
Guess small minds think alike.
You're telling me. If they'd had a larger mind, they probably would have done something other than going into the guard. He looks at you and says, so? What's happened since I've been gone?
Oh, is this M?
It definitely seems like this. It looks like he's taken on the guise of a guard and casually strolled on the boat.
What's the password?
I look at Reed, I grab him by the shoulder and say, Reed, Usul has impersonated M, and he snuck aboard the ship. You must act now before he could
Easy now, Ito. I
How
could
did
probably
your-
convince him to kill you before he kills me.
How did
Shame.
your
one on my deception check. It's a
debriefing go?
16.
But he just sort of nods his head and sort of says, I gotta get out of this uniform. Add it to the old collection as he sort of disappears downstairs and says, "Who's been in my stuff?"
I point at the
Sorry.
library.
That would be the librarian.
The librarian
I pointed at the librarian.
and Henley. Hmm.
I need to borrow clothes for dinner.
I mean, you should always want to borrow clothes. Look at what you're wearing.
I'm in my suit right now, though.
Why are you still in your suit?
It's
The other
Did you
suit.
sleep in it?
No. These are my date clothes.
Adelaide was just like, you look really hot in that suit. Can you
He
sleep in it with-"
goes.
Adelaide won't let me go out in my boar furs.
It does not take long for him to reappear out of his guard uniform into something more standard, just a simple, sort of plain gray robe, and sort of it almost blends in with his slightly grayed skin as he's taken on his natural form. And he sort of gets up and he completely walks by the librarian, who goes, "You let this asshole on your boat?"
We didn't exactly.
Yeah, let is a
Why,
strong
yeah.
word.
Well, looks up at you, up and down at the librarian, and he says, "Scram. Grandmaster's pulling the leash." There is a very clear, perceptible coldness between the two of them. And there's just a little bit of a standoff for a moment before the librarian just nods his head and walks off the boat.
What's your problem with that guy?
Oh, he's an asshole. You didn't notice that? No,
Well, they're all
suppose not.
assholes, so.
I suppose not.
I mean, after a while,
I
all assholes start to
get
smell the
me.
same.
Actually, hang on. Can I make sure this is M?
Yeah, you can roll an insight check.
Isn't he in his normal form? Colin, I got a question.
Looks like he's got a changeling form. He often changes it, but you've seen him in changeling before. That being said, if they were able to transform, they could take a form of a changeling.
I was about to ask that. Can changelings change into other changelings, like their physical, actual form?
Or
They
is
can
there
make
like a common thing that they always
They
have?
make themselves kind of look like whatever. But if someone were able to
Let's say-
polymorph, they could polymorph into a changeling. So it's very well possible that maybe, this is an impersonator, but it seems like M.
I hand M the invitation. He wasn't very helpful.
You hand him the
so-
invitation.
He
Get out.
Hi, Kit Cody.
flips it upside down and looks at it and
Cody kicked himself.
nods his head and says, "Yeah, they knew this was
All the
coming.
commitment.
They got someone on the inside that told everyone before, about an hour before this was getting to you."
Good commitment, Cody.
Any concern?
Bravo.
Oh, tons, obviously.
Sure.
But specifically,
Not-
I mean, specifically, no. But, generally, of course. At the same time, can't say much what you can do otherwise. I have spoken at length with the Grand Master of the Order, and, I seem more than eager to meet you, but that comes with its own perils, I'm afraid. Now,
M, are you the Grand Master of your order?
if I was the Grand Master, I wouldn't have been exiled for decades.
Maybe you were just on vacation. I know how that feels.
That's what the Grand Master would say.
Insight check.
Boy,
I got a 1.
he definitely seems like he is 100% the Grand Master. You're sure
I knew
of
it. I already believed it.
How do we get the feeling that we're going to end up using that 20 important dice on an insight check this session?
Well, it's
I
true.
think it's good use.
Ito M is the Grand Master. He's been gaslighting you this whole time.
Hell yeah, gaslight, gate,
So-
girl boss.
Jesus Christ.
Gaslighting's
Well,
not
I'm
real.
letting
Neither
go.
is gatekeeping.
That's what a gaslighting gatekeeper would say.
That's what you would say as a
Nice.
girl boss, bitch.
It is. It's true.
So how'd that meeting go with your Grandmaster? What all was, I guess, spoken of? I imagine that was your traditional debriefing. You gave them pretty much everything.
I mean,
Or
that's...
everything that you wanted to share.
He nods his head and says, that's, why it took so long. I've been gone for a long time. Told him what I knew. Got a little bit of a bonus for my good work. Came back as
Why
soon as I
did-
could.
Why did you get exiled?
Oh, that's a long, complicated story. You'll have to talk to the librarian about that asshole.
Is that like? Wait, are we calling him a librarian because he was a librarian,
He
or
was
does
the
that act like his
librarian.
code name? And I'm
Uh,
asking him if that's his code name too.
oh. That's the name you can use.
Okay.
I guess you
Is-
prefer asshole.
I would.
Wait. Do you guys have code names? I assume your name is an M.
He sort of nods his head and says, our name is our code name. Once you enter into the monastic order, that's just what you are.
That's rough.
Pretty cool.
It's been so long since since my actual name that I've pretty much forgotten it.
What is it?
It's none of your business.
I thought we were friends, M.
Well, that's mistake number one. Nobody's your friend, Henley.
Oh.
Never trust anyone. Otherwise, you'll get stabbed in the back and sent into exile for 20 years.
I've been exiled. I know how that feels.
Yeah, definitely, like, fucking Klaus layers at Aruna in this fucking conversation.
But, everything went great. I've been welcomed back into the fold, which is all you can really hope for, I suppose.
What'd you tell him about me?
Okay.
Very tall, proclivity for, awkwardly wanting to feel up the Emperor of Stalreich.
I'm not sure if that is true or false.
Well, neither are they at this point.
No,
Told-
I'm not sure if that's actually what you told them or not, because it very well might be.
Yeah. I mean, I told them about your, let's see, family, home, the incident in the Coldwood, killing the dragons. That was pretty cool. Let's
Thank
see, told them about, your sword, your boar,
And the whores.
and the whores. I told them that, you've got, big muscles and a tiny peepee.
That might also be true. I don't know.
They seem to buy that one most of all.
I feel like if you had a
Okay.
tiny PP, Adelaide wouldn't be interested in you.
Can we have a group cot check real fast?
Alright, fatal rules.
You've all seen my
No.
penis. I wore like a loincloth. I'm sure you've all
look
seen
at-
my dick.
We look at the,
All
the
D12s
old,
right now.
we look at the old guy's penis. Yours looks a little weird. Yeah, mine uses Thaco rules.
But, M comes back. I mean, the reality is, M told his Grandmaster everything. All of it. Told everything since you've started
How
traveling.
much of a fucking idiot we are.
Well, I'm curious about what all he knows, like what all he could have told them about the Vecna shit. Because I don't think M's been present for a lot of the actual substance, I guess, for that.
Indeed. The question is, have any of your characters ever talked about it over the past months?
We definitely had because if you'll recall, like Ito confronted Alakul about the vampirism thing and the source of.
M doesn't have to
Right.
be there. If he just heard about it, he'd say, take this with a grain of salt, but I heard them talking about. That sort of thing.
I heard them mention Vecna, and this guy on the boat now has a dagger with the eye of Vecna in it, and he does zombie shit.
This guy on the
Blinks.
this guy on the boat had like a eye embedded in his hand, and when he jerked off, it cried blood. Pretty fucked up.
That's because you're not supposed to get cum in your eye.
Oh.
But no, he gives you that report. But he also says, now, I did come back with some interesting tidbits for you. Managed to weasel a little bit of information out of the Grand Master. Not that they wanted me to, but they couldn't help slipping up a little bit. Now, let me tell you about the refugees.
But you're the Grand Master, right, Em?
Oh yeah, that's right.
That's right. Yeah, he's slipping up and telling us now.
Yeah, I'm slipping up and telling you now. Currently,
He said he couldn't help it.
I lean over to Karakwa and I say, I think it must be some kind of triple bluff.
Believe he has brain damage.
From what I heard from the Grand Master, the Bishop Usul is planning to close the walls of Parzula to refugees quite soon.
Any
pretty
particular
Why?
reason? Like,
Yeah.
what's the I guess the straw that broke the camel's back on this?
That
one?
would be one. That is a racist term to use here. Two, that would be very uncouth of him.
I mean, there's been quite a few of them that have come in, but Parzula's got a lot of wealth and room and could always use more labor. I couldn't be sure what exactly changed it, but it's only come down recently within the past couple days.
Is anything gonna happen to the current residents that we know?
Well, they're a resource as far as the bishop is concerned.
Sure. A resource for
Well, what do you use people for? Labor?
I don't know.
Considering their refugee status, probably for cheap labor.
Have any of them been introduced into his harem by chance?
Not that I know of.
How extensive is his harem? Do we know?
What I saw, pretty big.
From what I only saw, pretty sizable.
Maybe they're also dragons.
That's an outcome I don't want to think about. Actually,
It's a terrifying thought.
I'm gonna need you to put that back in the deck. I'm not ready to play Colin's campaign of the Dragon Harem of Dragon.
You all have to be part of the dragon harem.
No, the harem itself is a mimic.
Oh my
Oh,
god. It's
Now
a
we're just playing Kingdom Death Monster with extra steps.
damn golems,
You know-
except the golems made out of harems.
It's an oasis in the desert that is a building full of a harem. It's actually a mimic.
You've seen a shoe
The desert-
golem. You've seen a
the
book golem.
oasis
Have you
is
seen a
mimic.
golem made up of concubines? Very
No.
squishy.
Can we? I was gonna say, can we find a pubic
Yes.
hair golem?
It's a
I've
concubine.
heard. I have seen Belle Delphine. How did you know?
I have too. I've seen all of Belle Delphine. That's the problem.
Oh.
Oh,
Colin likes the braces.
man, I can't stand adults that have braces. It's weird.
So Colin, if you made a
You
festival
see how
slut with
fucked up legs
braces,
now?
would that be like your worst nightmare?
Probably.
Didn't she get her braces removed?
A,
for, like,
a festival
noticing
slut
so.
that has
distinct
braces,
loss in
and
subscribers?
then a festival slut with braces, then she leans in and whispers in my ear, "You want to watch Practical Magic?"
Oh no,
I just,
Colin's actual hell.
I'm like, I've died and gone to hell.
I think HBO Max had that on popular movies.
Of course it did. It's
not
Halloween
popular.
and it's Practical
What?
Magic.
What
All
happens
right.
if you get cum in your braces?
Like, how about
Uh,
if you
Did I
were?
just
I'm
see that?
curious. Like, does it get
Did I just see
stuck?
that?
Boy, it's
Oh,
gonna
people
be.
go get braces and try it.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got fucked up enough teeth. I am 30 though. I
Let's
think
ask-
it's too late to
let's
fix
ask
my
Connor
teeth.
what he
Any
thinks.
ink, you dingus.
All right. You.
I know,
just
but you
have
look
insurance
ridiculous.
If there's nothing else,
You also look ridiculous.
we know that Adelaide, Henley, Ito, and I'm gonna throw in Aruna are definitely going to the dinner.
I tell Emma I'm gonna need that soup back then.
he says, he
I'll
looks
ask them
at
a
you and
question.
says,
Do we come armed?
"Oh, I would say no.
Can we bring you?
Me? Why would you want me to go?"
You're the only person in this city that I trust.
Well, that's not very smart. You shouldn't trust me
Why
at all.
the-
What have
yeah.
What have I been
Why the
teaching
fuck are you gonna do that? You've not been.
But
this
I
deep.
am quite
Ito.
flattered, nonetheless, and would happily join you.
Ito has a wisdom of 0.
But I would say
I need a sign that says that.
I feel like etiquette-wise, it'd be unwise to take weapons. Realistically, taking weapons would be almost pointless. Like
It would be in it.
if he
Dragon's Lair.
wants to rock and roll in the parlance of the meta parlance of a different world, if he decides to go, I don't think it's gonna matter that much whether we have weapons or not.
In the meta parlance of a different world is so good.
But if he wants to go, I don't think it's gonna matter with just the 4 of us. I'm not much of a fighter, really.
Yeah, but I don't know, I'd still like that.
Adelaide is.
If you can think of something that you can slip in, maybe secretly. Of course, it might be a power move of some sort, bringing weapons.
I do have to be leaving in about an hour.
All right.
I asked Adelaide if I can actually bring Steiners this time.
She
Still knowing that I have no way not to do it, but I ask her anyways.
says, I suppose so. I mean, it is guests.
Can I feed her table scraps?
I think we'll read the room whenever we get there, sweetie.
Okay, thank you.
But
Pulse Adelaide is my favorite Adelaide.
she just sort of nods her head and. All right then.
I like it now that I don't have to ask Ito about etiquette now. I can ask her,
It's true.
and she's not much meaner about it, so I get the point.
You all make your preparations. Like I said, if nobody else wants to really do anything, we've got. Let me write down. Separate the groups. Where's my freaking notebook? Move, Gracie! Get off my backpack. Where's my notebook, Gracie? Gracie, I lost my notebook. Nothing. Awesome. I found my notebook. Or I found a notebook. It'll work. Alright. We got Adelaide, Henley, M, Ito, and Arun.
I did text Tommy because I was worried.
Is he okay?
His friend's car died across town. He's helping give
Yeah,
him a drop.
yeah, you already put that in.
Yeah.
Did he? Did he put that in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where did he put that in at? Am I stupid?
He said
A
he's
while
gotta
ago.
go, yeah, save,
I
Right
am
before,
stupid.
right before Connor's butt.
See everything, but after that, it's just kind of.
It's true. Alright. Everyone else is gonna go, remain in the city doing stuff. Like I said, you can very well go make contact with the Grandmaster at this point, as M has sort of given the formal introductions about you, told them about you. If you want to, you can go seek them out. Now, the actual day passes and you make your preparations. You make sure that you're scrubbed down, perfectly clean. Pay a little bit extra for a nice bath. Make sure that and Adelaide make sure that Henley you're well dressed, wearing a very similar clothing to the previous night's clothing. And as the sun begins to set over Parsla, you begin preparing to head out towards the Azure Vault. As you are all completely, would you say you're dressed to the nines? Like really?
I would probably have to be, and she probably would too. But I don't know about Ito.
If Adelaide is dressing, I would wear I would wear something that shows that I am a representative of the Empire.
Okay.
Like a diplomat's kind of garb. Maybe like a sash, that kind of deal. If she has some form of emblem or implement, I would match that.
Alright. M also sort of follows by example, he climbing into his trunk and coming out. He transforms himself completely into a very sort of handsome looking dark-skinned man with short cropped hair and wearing sort of periwinkle blue robes. He says,
I
look okay, right?
Yeah,
I think so.
You look great. I have a metagaming question.
Yep.
Don't Karakwa or Aruna have Heroes Feast? I thought one of them did. Because we might want to.
Let me check.
Someone had that, I think. I might be mixing up campaigns, but if we have that at our disposal, I think maybe we should have lunch before we go over there.
I can take Heroes Feast.
As a prep or as an option?
I would need to prepare it.
I mean, that's Colin's call. I remember we had that as an option.
Also, we gotta get that gem encrusted gold bowl that's worth 1,000 gold pieces.
Oh, we don't have one of those laying around?
No, but we could deduct 1,000 gold.
Yeah, you're in a city where that would not be hard to get.
Is that like a permanent thing? Or
it gets consumed as part of the feast.
Oof. Okay.
No, but if we have that as an option, we definitely want to take it.
I'd probably allow it. Like I said, you've got the entire day to get ready.
Sorry, I didn't think about that until now.
But yeah, you got the entire day to get ready, so you wanna do it, you can.
I mean, if you want to know what exactly it does, besides just, making food, let's make sure it has enough food for everyone. I guess.
Are we pre-gaming this dinner?
I mean, I'm wondering if anyone should trust the food served by
the 12 creatures can partake in it.
Yeah.
You're also cured of all diseases and poisons, become immune to poison and being frightened, and make all wisdom saving throws with advantage. Your hit point maximum increases by 2d10, and you gain the same number of hit points, and it lasts for 24 hours.
That's pretty nice.
I
especially like that advantage on wisdom saving throws. That's very nice.
Always useful.
Heroes Feast is.
Things are
there
about
comes
to
a
get
point
spicy.
where you start trying to plan your battles for tomorrow so that you can have that.
Alright, but like I said, you've got the whole day to prepare, so yeah, I'll allow it. And like I said, the bowl, would not be too hard to get in this city. So yeah, you can cast Heroes Feast as your preparations.
Appreciate it.
Alright.
I mean, I'll prepare it then. Let me change my character sheet. Boop. Spellbook. Prepared. Apparently I had 21 spells prepared. I should only have 20.
I've got the ultimate
Why is
spell
that?
prepared. It's called,
But on my character sheet and beyond, I only have 18 spells prepared.
I'm just gonna say you have the benefits of the Hero's Feast. I'm not super worried about it.
Okay, whatever.
You make your way towards the Azure Vault and soon find that as you leave and look behind you at the Sky Weaver, you can see Nipsey's standing there with Carrington and all the rest watching as you're immediately flanked by several guards that sort of walk in step with you. A guard of sorts that leads you through the city, down the hard stone roads towards the imposing building that is the Azure Vault. You can see in the nighttime it is lit beautifully with torches running up its walls, and they have a faint, almost sort of bluish sheen to it, casting. Yep.
I'm sorry. Continue. I thought you were on a break. Continue.
Oh no, I was just gonna say casting it in an almost eerie light. But yeah, you can go.
This is a very me question. I apologize. Is the world's axial tilt similar to ours? Meaning, at 8 p.m. in November in Parzula, is it quite dark?
Yes.
Rick, is that drink fucking good?
Yeah. Sorry.
Yes.
I hope so.
It is like say at 8 it is dark. And that's, like I said, whenever you go to the Azure Vault, it's all lit up. It looks almost blue. It has torches that emit sort of a bluish light running up the walls of its. It's an eerie and formidable structure. And as you get closer to it, the sounds of the city around sort of die away, and you're left with the sort of sound of running water, and find that you're walking through a fairly nicely gardened park area with beautiful sort of tall palm fronds and sort of soft grass beneath your feet. The Bishop Usul.
I was gonna message Adelie.
Yep.
I was gonna message her, and I was gonna ask. Do you have any idea how you might play this, or are we all just playing it by ear?
I don't make plans.
She says,
Henley, I was not asking you for a reason. Do you remember your crayons, buddy?
Yeah, I got the green one. It's my favorite flavor.
There we go.
she responds, I will see what he has to say and decide then.
And I will ask, is our position so desperate that we would look to him as an ally?
She says, do you think our position isn't desperate?
I think dying by dragonfire or undead horde is tantamount to about the
I'm
same
not
thing.
going to let him kill me.
That's not what I meant.
Is this a message form, or are you guys sending this to each other?
I'm messaging her specifically because there's guards
Okay.
and stuff.
Well, after you guys have continued, I know if it was verbal or not. Because I was gonna say whether or not I got bad vibes from him, but I'm obviously not involved. So.
Alright. The Bishop Usul has put on something of a display in a way. As you walk up the beautiful sort of stony walkway made of sort of cut white stones through this lush garden area, you can see he's lined it with guards that stand at attention. You climb the steps up into the Azure Vault, and your footfalls echo. They sort of send echoes off the hard stone edifice of the building, and the doorway actually just slowly opens as you approach. And you find yourself looking into a large, what looks like meeting area. As I wouldn't say small table, but a table that is adequate for the size of your party, essentially.
Exactly adequate?
Exactly adequate.
Oh, so he expected more of us.
No, he
No,
expected
exactly adequate for
Right.
who
For
arrived.
the amount that came.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like our.
This is
I
some
thought
Willy
you meant-
Wonka kind of shit.
I thought you meant the D&D party, not the current party. My bad.
No, this is some Willy Wonka kind of shit.
No, he put out a request for guests. 6 people started walking towards him. He put out a table for 6.
Pretty much. Like I said, you've had eyes on you since you've been walking this whole time. Would not have been hard for him to get word along to say, all right, we got this many. You stride in, and there is a large stairway that seems to lead up to a second landing of some sort, made of the same sort of white marble stone that the floor is made of. And standing on it is the bishop. He is clad very simply. He wears it's a well-made, well-tailored blue robe, cut perfectly to fit him. The materials themselves are likely extremely expensive, but it's not in any way, shape, or form ostentatious.
It's not showy.
It is not showy at all. He wears a large head covering that is in a white color, or almost like a creamy white, and on that is the only ornamentation he has. There is a small golden pin that holds it in place, that looks like a dragon's eye with a single sapphire in it. And Connor, give me the same roll, a history charisma check. It's plus 10.
27.
The robes are perfectly tailored, perfectly made of a very expensive cloth, not ostentatious at all, and they sit on him as easily as if he was wearing a second skin. You have been around people like this. This is old money. This is, like I said, wearing these very fine trappings, not needing to show off. That's, like I said, someone who's had money for forever. And you also feel like maybe, just looking at how simply he's made up and how very grand the rest of you are, you realize he kind of did this on purpose. It was unlikely that you were gonna not make a possible misstep on this first thing, especially because you're in his city. If you had all come dressed simply, he might have been dressed grandly, but he has done this purposefully, you get the feeling. He doesn't say anything.
Does Adelaide seem put off by that? Because I don't think he would give a shit.
She does chafe at it slightly. You can see it on her face. But he smiles broadly, warmly, and motions for you to have a seat. Please. He does not sit down first, however.
I will find the seat for where Adelaide is meant to be.
Alright.
Assuming I can make that call. Do I roll for that?
Yep.
Same roll?
Same roll.
I'm just gonna copy that to my clipboard because I feel like I'm gonna make that a lot today. 18.
While it was very clear he invited Holy Emperor and guests, he wants, likely, to be in a position to talk with Holy Emperor. So
Alone?
not alone, but close, definitely at his right-hand side, so he's able to just talk to her.
Okay.
Not
So
have to
I will.
shout across the table.
Yeah, I gotcha. I will walk her to her seat, and I will seat her. And
Alright.
I will take a place beside her.
Alright.
I say, a seat, you read my mind, and I sit down.
M does the same as he pulls out a chair.
Did it, brothers are gonna get us all killed.
And it's only after you've all been seated that, graciously, as a good host, he finally sets himself and he smiles and he says, I must tell you, it has done my heart much good to see that amongst all the turmoil in your kingdom, you are alive and well. And he sort of smiles and bows slightly.
I sincerely ask him why he didn't just do this when we first met. Like, I mean, even if it was secretive, he could have introduced himself to us and like try
He
to talk
still
to us or
smiles.
something.
Because that is formalities.
How old is he visually? 30?
Young.
Like
Young.
mid 30s.
Yeah.
Maybe low young 30s. But he says there are formalities and etiquette that must be observed.
Is there vodka? Comrade.
I mean, I'll be real with you. That's a little lost on me. So, but I believe you.
He says, you do not have to feel bad. I am not at all adverse to those of humble origins. That is also a very subtle dig, Ito, which you can just feel it.
Yeah, no, I caught that. You don't have to call that out. I felt that. It's cool.
But I thought, as you being the leader of your particular kingdom, etiquette demands that I obviously show you my hospitality. You are welcome in the Azure Vault. All of your party are welcome in the Azure Vault. I have seen that all fees for your airship have been waived. I understand this is a time of trial for you.
If Adelaide doesn't answer to that, I would, feel like
I'll probably let you do a lot of talking, Connor, because otherwise I'm just gonna be talking with
Yeah,
myself.
you're talking to yourself. That's fine. If Adelaide doesn't acknowledge that, then I would. That is appreciated.
Well,
If you ever find yourself in my humble part of the world, know that the same courtesy would extend to you.
and I tell him the same for the Wilderstadt too.
Well, you have my thanks, and I hope to see more of your fine lands. At about that time, the first course comes
That's
in.
ominous as fuck, people. Can we acknowledge that?
And the first course comes in, and it's honestly, Henley, it's a lot like the food you had the previous night, which is very, very fine food. Small quantities, many courses, all exceptionally made. A various assortment. You're surprised to find, Ito, that there is right there in front of you, vintage Yilderoyhan wine. There is
Vintage as in before me?
before you.
Oh, fuck.
And this guy got money.
Yeah,
There
no,
is-
that's 11 generations back at the least. Ugh.
There is incredibly enough, well-made versions of food from each of your homes. There's foods of the cold wood, foods from the actual capital itself, foods from the Yilderoyhan.
So is each plate individualized,
It
or is
sure
it a
is.
spread of individual food?
It's individualized for each of you. In fact, if Alec Cole had come along, he would have brought in someone and said, suck that blood.
Yeah.
The dinner table?
At the
Come
dinner
on,
table.
man.
I got a question.
Yeah.
Who is recognized as the leader of Wilderstadt, me or Kramer?
At this point, it would have been Kramer.
Okay, I didn't know. I wasn't sure if you recognized me as a delegate or just a person from there.
I think you should assume he knows you're more than just a person from there.
Well, I mean, not politically, I'm not.
I mean, but that
That's
might
why
be-
I'm asking. So that's
That
in
might-
Colin.
Yeah, like I said, he might know some stuff about you, but, you know,
Well, he knows where I'm from. He knows,
He
the
knows
food
where
I
you're
eat.
from, he
Like,
knows
I
the food
assumed,
you
I
eat.
didn't know if he knew more than that. Okay.
He says, he eventually, sort of, like I said, asks, you know, I hope that everything is to your liking. And none of it is poisoned or anything like that, so you don't have to worry about like that.
I go. It tastes like home.
And I'm assuming he doesn't eat.
He didn't eat last time I saw him either.
He does not eat.
He's
I do love the mental image of Henley watching Adelaide's table manners and trying to mimic them.
no. This if it's from my home, it's probably hand food. I'd probably eat it, but with my hands, that'd be the proper way to eat it.
And
like
he's,
What does Adelaide serve?
Adelaide is served a very, surprising enough, like it's kind of what you would expect for someone who is high-ranking from, you know, the largest city. It's a really nice, like, roast meat of some kind, like a steak, essentially. But
If Klaus was there, it would have been street food, like kebabs or something.
Yeah, like I assume I got like a roasted goat shank or something, like a leg.
And he entertains you. He tells anecdotes about the city, sort of stories about his life as he motions towards the stairs, and he says, whenever those stairs were first made, one of the architects thought it would be funny to make the final stair slightly higher than the rest, so people would trip on them. Well,
When he tells these stories, is he telling them as if he is this 35-year-old man?
yes. But
And are there any, like,
roll a
Is there
perception
anyone-
check for me, actually.
Yeah.
Everyone can do that.
Oh my god.
Does that include Adelaide?
Oh my
Hey,
god.
what?
Yep.
Hey, what check?
This is, well, I guess
Claire.
everyone
Well,
that's
yeah.
everyone that's there can do it.
Yeah.
I am
Uh,
perceiving from the future.
You can
Oh, it wasn't 22. Never mind.
you can see almost imperceptibly, very difficult to notice. Off to the sides of the room, sort of in darkness, you can see several of his concubines.
Okay, that's actually what I was literally about to ask.
They sort of look on, and they, however, are not the ones that serve you. They're not waiters, they're not servers, they're his concubines. He's got people for serving. And he lets you indulge yourself, as you can see Adelaide very carefully and delicately eats her food, makes conversation, both of them seeming to dance around the actual issue at hand of, like, the fact that Stahlreich is under invasion, neither particularly bringing it up. The bishop talks about having met her father whenever he was young, that sort of thing.
Does he
says-
mean wait? When who was young, her father or him?
when the bishop was young? He's talking as a 35-year-old man.
Okay, that's what I was asking.
He's not dropping character.
And he sort of smiles and talks about that. He was a little more than a scamp himself. It was right after Adelaide had been born, even.
The dragon adornment on his person that you mentioned.
Yeah.
What color?
It's gold with it's a gold dragon's eye with a sapphire in it, whereas like the eye, actual like.
So it's not a dragon's eye. It's a motif of dragon.
Yes, it is a piece of
Okay.
jewelry. And they dance around this thing that hangs in the air, you know, until finally dinner is over. And the last plates have been cleared away, he says, I hope that you found that enjoyable. And now,
Yeah.
Perhaps we should talk a little bit more about business. Thanks to, he raises a glass towards him. Thanks to the information brought by M to the Grandmaster, I have become quite aware of your plight. And why exactly you are in my city. You're looking for something, yes?
Are you the Grand Master?
That is correct.
He just sort of smiles and he says, what if I am?
I mean, I don't care if you are. I'm just asking. The way you were talking kind of alluded to him giving you the information directly.
I know everything the Grandmaster knows.
Carol, insight on that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I call him
He
a
probably
cuck and
believes
tell
that.
him that he is the Grand Master.
He
You
probably
cuck.
believes that.
It's only a
Tommy's
17.
been here for half an hour.
He absolutely believes what he's saying is true.
Okay.
Tommy, you're in a small group that's having a meal with the bishop himself. It was a really nice meal.
You got served your dad's head on a spike.
That's true.
That'd be really cool.
But you had a
It's
meal.
our favorite
You got
meal from our
cultural-
The only
homeland.
problem is
Yeah,
it's,
you got cultural moon food.
and you're at the point
Oh.
where the sort of bishop's like, all right, I know why you're here, because M knew why you were here, and he told the Grand Master, and the Grand Master told me. Or maybe I am the Grand Master. You don't know, but the point is, I know why you're here. So
Does
let's.
M react to that statement in any fashion?
He seems not at all surprised by that in any way, shape, or form.
Well, I mean, because either he is the Grand Master, so he would know, or he's aware, or the Grand Master would know that because the Grand Master knows, so he's not shocked by it. So
I
either
think-
way.
He's actually just everyone in Parzula.
I think the call is to call him a sussy baka.
When you've got enough
Yeah.
money, you can find out anything that you fucking want.
Parzula is actually just one giant illusion.
I'm still on board with the desert oasis mimic.
But he says, perhaps we should talk frankly, my dears, about why you're in my city.
We're gay. This is why I didn't.
Oh man,
come,
I'm not
because I
here,
would
so I can
that.
answer his questions dumb ways.
That might be
I'm
for the
not on
best,
board.
though.
I do want to confirm. I know this has been brought up a few times, but we know there is an item. We don't know what
You don't know what it is. You do know there is an item, though.
but we
There's
have
an
no idea
item,
what it
it
is.
has
what it looks
something to do with the aqueducts. That's all we know.
Something to do with the sewers and the aqueducts beneath the city.
Huh.
Does he specify that he knows we're after the item?
He says he knows you're after an item.
But the item?
The item we seek.
We are after Zara Alden.
Let's say, does
He snaps his finger and Zara appears. Walks right up to him.
Well, that's our best friend.
Did you say that, Tommy?
You know, honestly, that might not be. I would say I would have probably previously brought this up. That might not be a bad play because we know her. So if we can get her to escort us, or you know,
She's
if
here.
yeah, in other words, if he wants or will help us, and he's gonna want to keep an eye on us, she might be the play because we're kind of like
Tommy.
mutual.
She-
Yes.
Tommy. He invited Adelaide and guests, and in the time it took us to arrive, the exact table arrangement befitting our party was created.
Oh, that's yeah.
You should assume he knows literally everything.
he knows more than we know?
And
Eh.
Zara is here.
Oh yeah, I totally get Aruna dad vibes because remember all the spooky
I
fey
think
animals
he's
that
worse.
watch everything. He's a dragon. That's just inherent. Yes. I like yelling, wife.
My wife. Oh,
Is
wait.
your wife yelling at you, Tommy?
Yeah.
Good.
He says, But he says, like I said, you seek something. I suppose I
Seek the artifact that we seek.
could be
Does-
obliged to help you.
Does M know what we're here for, or just that we're here for an item? Because I don't know if M
Knows that you're
what
here
it
for
is.
an item.
He doesn't know what it is, though.
Has no clue what it is. You don't even know
But
what
we-
it is.
I would say M knows that we don't know what it is.
No. We know that it's one of the artifacts or whatever we're looking for. We know that. I'm asking if M knows that, or M just knows it's an item.
He just seems to
Uh,
know it's an item that you're looking
Okay.
for.
I say real talk, Henley. Me and M are pretty buddy, so he probably knows.
It doesn't,
Well,
and also,
I'm asking from a meta knowledge standpoint.
it
Yeah, I
also
get you.
doesn't seem like M probably told him. It's passed up along
That-
the line through the Grandmaster.
Okay.
Oh, they're playing telephone.
Well, no, I think Colin's saying that M is still keeping stuff close to his chest too,
I get you.
because it's in his benefit.
I mean, I'm not one to balance delicate political situations, so perhaps this is more of Edo department.
That's why I'm.
Yeah.
Well, I asked him, do you want to give us the item?
He almost scoffs. As if, do you think I made a fortune making bad deals like that?
I didn't say for free. I meant in general.
I would be willing to offer a trade.
Can I
Oh,
ask
boy.
why?
Because you have something that I want.
Do we know what that is?
Well, something or
He sort of
someone.
leans back in the chair and he says, I want the sword and I want the crown. But I know that I will not be able to pry it from her cold dead hands. Not in a million years. No. So I do have a proposal.
Okay, wait. Do you mean the physical crown, or the crown
Well,
is in?
He's
the
going
head of
into
the
that
state.
right now.
Okay. Okay.
I have a proposal. Your
Bippity boppity?
people
This is about to go real
are
bad
in my
real
city.
quick.
They're not viewed very highly, but these outsiders, how well they would be viewed if they were not refugees. What if they were my people? What if they were our people? Imagine the strength of Stalreich backed by the wealth of Parzula. A simple formality that we formally join our two kingdoms.
I am. Can I roll initiative?
I mean, yeah.
Why?
I am
Why?
afraid. I'm not afraid of him. I'm afraid of her.
He says, now do not be confused. I understand and felt your feelings for this man next to you, as he motions to Henley. I assure you, I am, despite my considerable age and nature, not nearly so draconian in my views of marriage. You may have your
Fucking
dalliances.
badum.
You can have your dalliances. I imagine I will have mine. But I want to be in line for the crown and the sword. And in return, your refugees, your people, they will have a safety, security, food, the wealth of Parazula backing them up. And you will have the item that you want. Consider it a wedding gift. How does that sound to you?
So you want to make me a concubine?
I mean, the thing is,
Damn.
With the
Yeah.
funniest speed drop of 2022.
the Bishop Usul just kind of
Like,
shakes his hands. Like I said, he has no problem with dalliances at all. He wants the opportunity to inherit Stalreich and join these two kingdoms.
Man, can anyone just do anything nice and for free without being a dick?
Do you think that someone gets this rich by doing things just for nice?
Yeah, I'm aware.
But
He doesn't want to be a dick. He want to get that.
and sort of, Adelaide just kind of sits silent and sort of looks at you, Ito, with her mouth sort of slightly open, and she says, "I don't know what exactly to say."
I got a question for him.
Please, you are a guest. You can say anything that is on your mind.
Why go about it this way? In the current state of Stalreich, with how you guys are, you can just go take it right now. Why do it diplomatically? What do you gain from that?
Because then you are fighting this army of Black Everfrost, and I am fighting this army of Black Everfrost, and we defeat them together, for certain, instead of risking fighting you on one side and then dealing with them. Why take something by force and spend money, tremendous amounts of money and lives, when I can just marry into it?
okay,
No, that's a fair answer.
but why?
He just looks at you almost confused.
I will gesture at the palace.
I
and
mean,
say, you already have your horde.
yeah, but dragons grow their hordes.
Yeah, he
like,
said-
if his
he
horde's a
smiles and
country,
says-
he can
I know
expand
that,
his borders.
Moron.
But it can always be bigger and richer.
Does he say that?
Yeah.
I will. I
It's-
mean, there's no.
A big decision. I will not force you to make it tonight.
Can I? Yeah.
Of
This
course.
doesn't seem like.
Can I? Okay, I have a question.
Yeah.
I'm wearing my ring of identify.
Yeah.
Can I use that? No, that's so fucking cheap. I'm trying to see if I can tell if I use detect thoughts. Is he gonna know I did that?
Yes,
They
you
yes, they
always
know.
do.
They always know when you use the tech
No,
bots.
I'm not using it on him.
They
I'm
always
asking
know
if he's-
whenever you
I'm
use the
not
tech
using it on him.
bots.
I'm
Well,
asking if I
on
use detect
anyone.
thoughts on Adelaide,
She'll
is
know.
he gonna know that I did that?
He may.
I mean, should I provide input now or wait until we're in a private setting?
Depends if you want the
This is-
bishop to
this is-
say things. He's like I said,
this
he's
is-
up front. He's been up front with you.
This is as private as you're gonna get. Everything that we've done and said.
That's
and
pretty much.
worked with anyone else he knows.
He's got eyes and ears everywhere.
I will detect thoughts on Adelaide. It's
Hey.
it's verbal, somatic, and material. So I guess it's a copper piece. I rub a penny between my fingers and I kind of nudge her hand and I'll try and detect thought.
I mean, he definitely would notice that, but he doesn't do anything about it as he just sort of watches on. She is a turmoil of emotions, anger, sort of, she gets the feeling that, oh, of course he's now threatening to close down the city to refugees. And now there's a way to open it up for everyone. Of course, now that's a thing he's doing. He's leveraging everything he's got. He's got the item. He's got the money. He'll send aid to Stalreich. He'll welcome all refugees. All she has to do is marry him. And of course he's leveraging that. And it feels bad, obviously. But you know that the Bishop Usul's a business person.
Okay.
So she's angry. At the same time, you can just feel the hints of, this isn't a bad deal. Like, just get married to him. She can still sleep with who she wants. It's more of an on paper thing. You know, all this is going on in her head.
I kind of look at her and I go, how much does the kingdom in the throne mean to you?
Ito's eyes go up through his forehead.
Okay,
I have to use that.
before maybe you answer that, Colin, how well do these people actually live, and is it just under an iron thumb of like a mob, essentially?
The actual people of Parzula live pretty damn well. Like, the citizens of Parzula, they live pretty fucking well, honestly. The refugees, a bit less so, but like I said, he is in the desert. He's got clean water, a sewage system, fountains that provide, like, free water to everyone and stuff like that.
And he said
Yeah,
he'd lift them up too. He said
but
he'd
I'd
lift them up
also-
to normal citizens if she did it.
Yes, and if they,
What?
he said, and right now they're refugees. If their two houses if they're merged, they become married, those refugees are citizens of Parzula as far as he's concerned.
Man, sure seems like fuck this.
So he's offering a ton, all just so he can grow her dragon horde, technically.
I mean, real talk, if this were me, Rick, I'd let the kingdom fucking burn before I let some rich asshole essentially take over the kingdom, and he's gonna live fucking forever.
Yeah, but that you don't think about the people. You think about your own feelings and how you don't. That's not affecting. That affects everybody in the kingdom.
Yeah, and I'm aware.
Yeah.
But it does. We also don't know what he would do to people in the future, so forth and so on.
Yeah, but he also could, like I said, I told him he just could take it if he wants to. So like
Theoretically, he could.
realistically, nothing stops him from getting it. This is the less bloody way to ensure everyone is safe and that they're taken care of.
It's a real path of least resistance for him, for her. The only thing that's standing in the way, really, is she's got feelings for Henley.
That's
Yeah.
why
It's
I
a really good thing the Redeemer's out there right now.
which is why I
I,
asked her what.
The
what
Redeemer
kingdom
would have been
means
like,
to her.
"What, are you retarded? Take the deal. It's a great
Am I
deal."
sitting- Are we still sitting at the table, or?
No, he at this point dinner's over. Like I said, he said, "I understand it's a big deal. It's a big decision. So you can take time to think on it. Talk to who you want to. She can talk to Gen. She can talk to anyone really.
Does he say that?
Yeah, he knows about Gen.
She can talk to Albert.
No, I know all these things. I just want to hear verbal confirmation.
Yeah, he's like, I want you to be comfortable with the decision. Talk with who you need to talk to. And
Okay, so out of character, here's my issue because I want to say that I want to ask him if there could be some sort of whatchamacallit time frame, right, where Adelaide could serve out her life as the Empress, and then their son, so him, could then rule in her stead. So that way he gets what he wants, but she can still be her own ruler.
So out of character, you're saying we'll kill the dragon later.
I mean, that's also no, not necessarily that, but it's the fact that Adelaide can still live her life, be who she is, rule her people, save them, be the ruler of her kingdom, and then Usul gets it in a generation or two.
To a dragon, it's like nothing.
I
Yeah,
also
that
like.
too. So that's why I don't know why we care. But I don't want to say in front of his concubines, "We know you're a dragon. Can you get it in 200 years?" Because I don't.
Well,
and that's my
also
issue.
Also, like, are we just sweeping aside the fact that he clearly does not actually give a shit about any of the people, or else he would have done something already, and he's literally leveraged against us?
But he
Well,
won't do it
right,
either.
that's
But
what
either
he's
way,
doing.
that's irrelevant because it's going to be the same thing. But the people who live under him do seem to live okay.
I feel like
And
we're
I
getting-
assume that
Yeah.
while he owns Stahlreich, he probably will not manage Stahlreich, and he will put a figurehead in place to run Stahlreich.
But also, are we forgetting all the mysterious architect deaths and the shit that he's probably done to get to where he is? Are we gonna risk
Actually, how
Like-
much of a purge would happen in Stallreich after he takes charge?
What I'm saying is we're risking future generations of him doing real shady, unpleasant shit.
Yeah, but you run the same thing of Adelaide's children, the same shady shit. They're still
Yeah,
They're still oligarchical royalties that are pieces of shit.
yeah, but she gets the
That
chance
doesn't
to
mean we
raise
have to
those.
hand her over to one.
Yeah, it's literally she gets to raise those kids and influence them as
Yeah.
opposed to living under a fucking dragon who only gives a shit about its
Yeah.
horde.
Plus, also
they
has
might-
like thousands of years of planning to execute on your people. Like, you don't have to worry about one lifetime when you can just live for fucking ever.
My thing is, like, Aruna Dad doesn't give a shit about people, and this guy doesn't give a shit about people. So why should we entrust the future of the kingdom for help now?
Well,
I think he gives a shit about people.
Is
I don't
that-
think he gives a shit about us.
but
Well, he clearly doesn't give a shit about Starreich, or else he would have helped the refugees and not held them as leverage against us.
well, Stallreich,
Well,
Stallreich's not his. It's not his problem, really.
I
Yeah.
mean, and he did take them in until he found out that he could use them as leverage, which is still shitty. But he was taking them in before he knew we could do this.
Yeah, well, now
Yeah,
he's
but-
threatening to not take any more.
No, and I
sure
get
is.
that. But what do you do now? Because then if you say no, then you're leaving those refugees out the dry too.
People die in war.
I mean, it is kind of like a death before dishonor sort of thing. It's like you much rather bite the
I-
bullet and get fucked.
I am
You're
going
supposed to bend the knee.
I am going to put my hand on the table so that I can reflect light from my wedding ring into Adelaide's eyes.
Okay.
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 You're blind, bitch.
Not
Even,
not trying to lie to
even
her.
during
I'm
even during
trying to get her
intense
attention.
negotiations, Ito is still dirty scumbag in this bitch. with
No,
weird
Morse code
training
something
shit.
to her.
Yeah.
I know.
Oh,
it's
that's right,
She just
I'm
kind
not-
of
I'm
looks at
trying
it.
to kind of. I'm assuming she's in like a bit of a stupor.
Yeah,
I'm
she
trying
sort
to-
of her eyes sort of focus on the ring as she sort of shakes her head slightly.
I will lean towards her and I will tell her that I am quite certain she does not want to do this.
She says,
And I'm saying that I'm not wasting.
Okay. I take back what I said. I was being kind of metagaming as myself. Henley just getting back his kingdom or as his tome would not want to turn it over, so I'm against it.
she
Okay,
says,
that's how I feel.
It would be the
need-
survival of your people and the end of your line.
I
And
think-
going to lean back.
he gave us time to think about it, so I'm going to think about it.
That's a good idea, but it would be the survival of your people and the end of your line.
More than the end of her line.
Well, it wouldn't be the end of her line because she could still have her lineage could still go on. This wouldn't be it would still be a royalty.
Right. It would be the end of her line.
End of the line. Line
Um,
in here.
but she says,
I think we
I
cut.
think I should spend some time thinking. And
I look at Aruna and I give her face of we need to get the fuck out of this city.
I mean, I'll tell the dragon guy to fuck off and his deal's stupid. Someone's gotta.
Aventa feels the force aligning to getting very close to we take the dragon down.
he
No, because we're fighting a whole city. There's
smiles
no take
and
the dragon down easily.
He says, as I said, it is a very large decision. One that has an impact for generations to come. I would not rush you into the thought of it in a night. Of course. Please, I'll have you sent back to your ship, or you can stay within the Azure Vault if you prefer.
I think the ship's a better idea.
And I
I don't think either of them are safe.
We can
is
go
it-
into the
hold on.
magnificent.
What's the composition of the room? Us, him, and concubine.
Yep.
Okay.
I can put us in the magnificent mansion to discuss things out of prying eyes.
No, because I know a thing about concubines, so I'm not worried about talking in front of them. They have stricter rules.
I mean, okay.
You,
Adelaide, where are you more comfortable? Back on the ship or staying here?
I think the ship. If you'll excuse me, Bishop Isul, it was a lovely dinner. And she, whenever she gets up, she, like, stands up a little bit too fast, the chair just tumbles over.
can I catch
So
her?
fat.
Can I catch her?
She doesn't tumble over, the chair tumbles over, but... you catch the chair, sort of lift it upright as she nods her head at the bishop, and she turns and she walks out.
Time to run. Prompt Henley to run after.
I mean, we're leaving with her, I assume.
I know, but like you should
Unless
be the
Ito's
one.
gonna stay.
I mean, you should be the one that's like right beside her, probably.
Y'all get back to the
I'll-
ship, and I'm like, how'd it
I'll
go?
go pick up the chair and then I'll follow her out.
Okay.
I would like to stay.
Yeah.
Alright, you can stay.
I'm waiting for them to arrive too on the ship.
You
Yeah,
are welcome to stay. He's more than happy to talk to you.
If I stay, I'm gonna tell the dragon to fuck off. So I'll leave.
Fuck off, coward. You won't.
I mean, you want me to?
Yeah.
I'll do it.
Yeah, go ahead. He's not gonna do anything.
I know he's not gonna do anything, but yeah, what a raw deal. Fuck you, dude.
Raw deal for a chance at raw dogging.
What a line.
Alright,
Jody
but you
Marlin
turn and-
2022.
you head out, you
Put
leave.
that on a fucking Trump bumper sticker. Holy
But
shit.
Ito, you linger, and Bishop Usul pours himself another glass of the Ilderoy Han vintage and swirls it around. Beautiful bouquet.
Oh, thank you.
Insight check if that was a lie or not.
I don't know if I should say thank you or not.
Your family does good work.
Yeah, but my family is 10 generations back. You probably drank the same vintage then.
Well.
What,
Perhaps would you
14?
like
You're
to
14.
retire to
The
a
winery was still functioning for the first few years.
would you like to retire to another room, perhaps a smoking room? We have fine brandy, cigars, things like that.
Did Aruna leave? Is it just
I'm
me?
gonna blitz.
Just
Unless you really want me to stay, I'm gonna leave.
I mean, like, if Aruna told the dragon to fuck off, I'm not gonna stop her from leaving.
I mean, he would not really care, honestly.
I mean, it's up to you if you want
I would-
backup.
No, it's up to you. I'm not asking for backup, but I would stay. I would see. An
Aruna's over
invitation.
here like, I really want to smoke that. Really want to slunk that shit, bro.
Aruna's
I-
about that smoke. Aruna's about that
I'm-
smoke.
I
I-
would.
I
would
think-
stay because if we are functioning as a royal diplomat entourage and we're invited to stay in the palace, somebody should stay.
Oh man, you're the hostage now.
Yep.
Colin, is this palace super magical and it would be impossible to get out of any?
There's
Probably.
probably a lot of magic on it.
So in other words, probably couldn't teleport out anyway. So Ito's boned.
But the whole city's probably magic for being
Yeah,
for being honest.
Made the assumption that until the dragon's dead, we're not leaving.
I think guaranteeing Adelaide's safety and Henley vicariously is more important than sticking with Ito. Ito can take care of himself.
I don't think you. I'm out there. Never mind.
I don't think he's gonna do anything to her necessarily, but
Yeah, that's what I was
It's
gonna say.
also-
He wants her alive, so I don't think he's gonna do anything to her.
but also, you know, it wouldn't be the first time someone's pulled fishy nonsense on us.
I will join him in whichever room he prefers.
Right.
Smoking chambers.
Small smoking room. You can see, much like the dining room hall, there are several concubines that are there. As I said, they're not service. Obviously, they don't serve you, don't pour anything. Instead, the bishop does. gets a drink, clear crystal glass, and pours some brandy and hands you a cigar. Takes one himself. And he sort of lights it. He lights yours, and then he leans back quietly for a second, and you can see he has his arms crossed over his chest, and you can see his glittering eyes seem to catch the firelight as he just seems to watch you. Not like a predator looking at prey, more like a child looking at an anthill, knowing that he's got a magnifying glass in one hand. He could, theoretically, start burning up ants, but he's more looking at you curiously. And he sort of says, "You don't like me very much, do you?"
If it helps, I don't really like many people.
I understand.
In their defense, most people don't like me either.
I like Quito.
I imagine I have something of a reputation that you've come across.
That's a way to put it. I don't know how close you are, but we've encountered some of your kin.
Ah, yes. My kin. Short-sighted, foolish. They used to call me a great blue bean counter. Words straight out of Gen's mouth.
I could hear him say that. He used to call me the Pauper Lord.
But he motions around and says, "And yet, I've built a hoard far greater than any of theirs."
No one said beans couldn't be profitable.
That's right. They can be profitable. And it is important that they are profitable. If you want growth, yes?
Yes. But, well, the gains that you can make can be much slower than ones that I would need to see.
Perhaps. But this is what I am good at. Why not take that to Stahlreich? Everything she could want, the item she's looking for, her people brought in. I could see that kingdom's coffers grow and soar. There'd be no need for anyone in that place to starve ever again.
What is the demeanor of his concubines?
Quiet and demure.
Are they just like in the background as art, basically?
Basically, yeah.
But I think that my friend is correct. There's no... Sure, it may be the least bloody method, but what does that matter to you? I'm going to be dust by the time that you realize that you need to change your appearance for your people's sake. Ito's like 38. I'm gonna live for like 20, 30 years tops.
He sort of looks at you and he says, "What do you mean?
Dude, that's a little idealistic.
Why don't I send people in to take it by force?"
No, what I mean is, why does the lack of bloodshed, why is that a boon? Why is that a benefit?
Because if there is bloodshed, then people die. And people are a resource. Same as gold. Same as grain. Same as water. You don't toss them into deals where they will be lost when you could have better deals where they won't be.
Sure.
At the end of the day, I am a business person.
Or a bean counter, as your kin put it.
I suppose so.
Well,
I have time.
yeah.
I have generations where I can wait to take Stahlreich. But I want to be in line for it.
One second. I'm sorry.
A simple
Switch.
heir. That's all I ask for. But, meanwhile,
I would say Connor got up. If
yeah, I'll say, meanwhile, on the actual
Colin,
airship
stop being
itself.
Seymour from Final Fantasy X.
I mean, he's a cold, calculating business person. She's cold and calculating, straight business for her. She's like straight neutral to neutral evil. But, meanwhile, back on the ship.
Wait,
Oh wait, okay.
I got this.
All
I
right.
do have to bounce out though. That's why I stayed behind.
Okay.
I would ask a request.
Of course, you are, from what I gather, a fairly trusted advisor of hers.
I don't know about trust, but sure, you can call it that. You laughed at your kin. I'm not sure what I should call you, but I've seen several of you, and I've seen you as you are. Would you be willing to grant me the same courtesy?
What, in my dragon form?
Yes.
Why would I do that?
I asked a question.
I would be willing to do it if the deal goes through. Obviously, we would need a venue other than this. I would hate to destroy this room.
Of course, I would not want you to damage your room.
But, that's what he says. I once again restates it. Like I said, he wants to grow his horde. This is a good way to do it through marriage. Through marrying into the actual imperial line of Stahlreich. Another drink.
I would ask if he's been to the island.
He says, yes, I have. In another life.
Sure.
He's actually your ancestor. He's the one the Green Lady hates.
No, I already watched that.
Fuck.
I was in. I
Would that
went
be a
to
fucking twist?
the Ile,
Colin leaning over slightly so he can scratch that down real quick.
the Ile de Royhan, in another life.
Can I ask when that was?
Must have been hundreds of years ago.
What does that feel like, living so long? I feel like eventually you would...
He looks at you.
Your wealth stops to have
He
meaning.
looks at you in the eye. He says, "It feels lonely.
Lonely?
Lonely."
I imagine there comes a point where you realize that all your wealth doesn't really amount to anything.
People die. Rocks erode. Rivers dry up. But he looks around. Wealth lasts a lot longer than a life, won't usually. But yeah, that's just, you know, that's who he is.
That's it.
You have a drink with him. He's friendly. But always a bit distant and cold. Always calculating. Meanwhile, back at the ship, while they were having dinner, did anybody want to do anything?
Beaver's not here, but we had the thing about weren't we going to go meet with the monks?
You certainly
I will
can.
go to the monk meeting.
The monk mating. Ooh.
Mate monks.
And
How many-
he figured him showing up to the dragon probably wouldn't be great. Don't want him gleaning anything from him.
But yeah,
Obviously,
you can
well,
certainly
he's
go.
gonna introduce me to the monks.
The librarian is more than happy to lead you into a pretty small culvert of the sewers. This one does not actually have any water running out of it. It does still bear the unfortunate smell of the sewers, but for the most part it's dry and relatively clean and quite cool, almost pleasantly cool as you walk inside. As the librarian sort of holds up a small rock that glows, and whenever he gets to the edge of a pit, he just kind of tosses it down. You can see it descends about 30 feet down. There's a ladder made of iron, and he sort of slowly begins climbing down it, his feet echoing off the wall with a faint clink, 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 until he hits the bottom, picks up the stone, and waits for you. By the time you all are down at that level, there are another half dozen of these monks surrounding you, looking on silently as slowly each one turns to walk beside you as you move down a side tunnel. This is indeed a maze of an incredible maze of just offshoots, tunnels, sort of the sewers weave their way all beneath the city. And it's difficult to keep track of where you're going. But these monks seem to know exactly where they're walking. Eventually, however, the winding does seem to ease and stop, and you find yourself walking down a long, square corridor that ends in a heavy iron, like, portcullis. Whenever you approach, the librarian holds up the lit rock in towards the portcullis, and it slowly opens, and you step into the monastery of the Shadow Monks. For the most part, once you step inside of it, it's like passing through a barrier, where it's much better lit. Certainly not brightly lit, but it's still quite dim. You can see that there are several of these monks around, quite a few that are doing like training and things like that. Most of all, what you see are like shelves. Shelves and shelves and shelves of books, all in just plain, unmarked black spines. You feel like you could search forever through these books and never be able to find or figure out any kind of organization system. But they seem to know. The librarian turns to you and he smiles and says, Welcome to the monastery. Would you like to, meet the Grand Master?
Hey,
Would be
hey,
an honor
Beaver.
to.
Yeah, Am I there? Because I've
Yeah.
been kind of like.
Yeah.
Not, okay.
Yeah, because you said you
Cool.
were
I'm
going
in.
to introduce me to the.
All right.
Yep.
He takes you to a small meeting room and sets you down. It's just a plain square wooden table with simple chairs, dimly lit by a single overhead sort of chandelier. And you kind of are stuck waiting there for 15 minutes, 20 minutes, with the librarian who sort of waits silently until finally the large wooden door opens with a creak, and in walks, could be a man, could be a woman, you're not sure. They're clad all in black, and they wear a black veil over their head, black gloves on their hands, as slowly they ease themselves down into a chair in front of you. And in an almost raspy, undiscernible voice, you hear, "Hello. Welcome to the monastery."
Oh no, it's Alakul.
I'm Klaus Fischer.
It's lovely to meet you, Klaus Fischer. I've heard all about you.
Oh, I'm missing the James Bond shit. Colin, I gotta go. Ito's gonna spend the night at the palace.
Okay.
Alright, bye.
Weirdest hand job ever from a dragon man. I've
And
heard
this
all
is,
about you.
Grandmaster. This is Grandmaster Reed, the fucking what the fuck was your order, Reed?
Yeah, Reed.
Is it just Master? I thought your Grandmaster died.
No.
He wouldn't.
Never
He
mind, I
wouldn't
got
be.
mixed up.
He wouldn't be next in
Oh.
Grandmaster's line, anyways. Technically.
Beaver checks his.
Okay.
Klaus checks his pack and sees the Grandmaster's head, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I forgot to tell him." Oh no.
Ah,
I
yes.
forgot. Oh no.
Zayshan, yes. How fares your Grandmaster?
He is doing fine, as well as the other masters. They continue to hone their craft and their swords,
They always were.
rehabilitating those that need help.
They always were powerful, wise fighters. I can see you carry that trait, young halfling. Ah. My name is Alpha.
I'm sure there's supposed to be more than Alf, but
Alpha.
there you
If it's Connor, it's Alfie.
go.
If it's Connor, it's a bitch. The
that's
end.
right.
I was picturing. Hey, what are we doing?
Of course, it
Hey!
is a deep honor to meet you, Grandmaster Elf.
Well, if there is anything that happens in this city, I know about it. So if you have any questions you seek from me, I have answers to some
I
extent.
raised my hand.
Oh boy.
Just waits expectantly. Yes?
Did you think it was
I'm
funny when
like-
I made the guards mad?
Alpha says, just sort of shakes their head and says, "It was certainly worth some amusement."
Thank you.
Taking it to the man, as he deserves.
We have, well, quite a few guards that are informants for us. We even have quite a few people very close to the bishop that are informants for us.
That's interesting. Well, I guess I'll start with my first question. Know what the Bishop Ursul is doing with the refugees? Because someone of that level of power doesn't just suddenly discover altruism.
Quite simply, the same thing he's always done with refugees. They are a resource to be used. They can be miners, smiths. They can work the agricultural fields, the fields of wheat, up farther the river. They will be put to use.
And yet, Adelaide von Richten is meeting with Bishop Rasul right now
She
at the
is.
bishop's bishop's request, isn't she?
Yes, she is.
Very curious thing.
Curious indeed, and the fact that he's threatened to cut off refugees right as before she meets him, or they meet.
Would you happen to know what the bishop is planning to accomplish with this withholding?
I can only imagine. But everything the bishop does is done with an eye towards expanding the influence and reach of Parzula.
I see now.
He is, in a strange way, both an incredibly complex and simple person.
Complex means for simple ends. Usually how politics goes.
It seems so.
Then, I guess what have you learned from M? Very curious.
I learned
I know he's told you all about this.
I learned that you're looking for a special little item. That you'd do a lot to get it.
That's pretty good. Would you happen to know anything that might be of value to us?
I don't know which item it is, but I can tell you for sure that there is. If there is a place for it to be, it is in the cells beneath the Azure Vault. The Azure Vault is not just named because it is a palace. It extends well below the ground. Deep.
I imagine the physical horde is.
Do what?
The physical horde. Like not just the metaphorical like I own the country, but like this is where the pile is.
From what I've been told, that's where he keeps his most valuable treasures. I do, as I say, have an informant on the inside that knows a bit more about the situation.
And you're certain, although you don't know what this item is, that it will be among this horde?
If it were anywhere, it would be there.
Is there anything ceremonial that is taken to and from the horde at all? Or anything that I guess is separate from the horde? Any kind of ceremonial items that are of particular note?
I'm afraid I don't know that. None that I've ever seen. But
this is a start at least.
Do these cells have anything to do with the aqueducts and the sewers here?
well, theoretically, you ain't getting in from the top. You're not going down through the Azure Vault. That's for damn sure. If you wanted to get in there, you'd have to go in from the bottom.
And you know of a way to get in there from the bottom? I'll admit, I tried to find it myself, poring over the tomes and scrolls. My mind is made for battle, not for reading.
I do know of a way. It will require some, well, just say, creative traversal. And it will not be a safe way. The bishop's not an idiot. is not completely unguarded. I can
But
get
you
you
do know the
my...
way there.
Yes. I can get you my informant. She might know more. But yeah. His informant is Zara Al-Din. Double
Of
agent
course.
on the Bishop Usul. The reason why she wasn't at the
Oh.
dinner.
Damn it, Cody! Stop levitating
Nice.
that dog.
Kill that dog.
Kill
My
her. It's a
God.
Kill
killer.
it. Kill the
That's
dog.
a witch dog. That's a witch dog. Burn it.
Eat the dog.
Oh, God.
The form of Zara Al-Din comes in.
Well,
This
it's certainly
my
been a while
God.
since we've seen you.
She nods her head and says, well, I did have a nice stay on the elemental plane, but it was not suitable to me. I could never quite avoid the call, like a chain or like a collar around my neck always drawing me back here.
I
I
can
guess-
never remember. Did Klaus know Zara, or was that during Bruce?
I don't fucking know. I can't keep that shit straight.
I don't fucking remember
Feel like
either.
that's
Honestly.
during Bruce, because I believe you.
I
you
think
made
so,
comfort
too.
food for her.
Yeah,
The problem is
I think so.
the problem is because nobody
Or you made
remembers
comfort food
Bruce.
for the giant, for the storm.
Well, that yeah, because Bruce was like a year-long gap of like essentially participation as a whole. But yeah, well, I guess we'll just go with that. Klaus doesn't remember.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because-
there's a thing. much
What's
you beat.
everyone's passive insight?
Mine is low. My passive insight is 11.
14.
Okay.
Um,
Love that. So nonchalant.
so you would be our guide to the cells.
I can find out information about them. The bishop, he is not nearly as tight-lipped as he thinks he is.
So you don't know right now if it's even possible.
I'm afraid I've never been down there. That is for his most prized treasures. He would not include his concubines in that. He does go visit them at least once every month or so.
Alright.
I could seek out that information if there's anything you want to know.
It's a little hard because we don't know exactly what we're searching for. Just that it's ancient, magical, and we're going to need it for what's to come.
Well, how many possibilities could that be?
Well, from the dragon hordes we've seen so far, quite a bit.
I guess it depends on the size of the pile.
And I really would like to err on the side of caution before we get on the bad side of another dragon.
A wise
Oh,
choice.
fuck caution. Fuck caution. No, I hate this dragon. I already know what's going on.
The Bishop Usul is not a fool. He didn't get this powerful by being, what's the word, complacent. How you want to deal with it is up with you, but I will answer anything I can or gain any information you want from that I can, or any information that I can. You have merely but to ask.
Well, right now, if you could just focus on entry into the cells below the vaults,
and I will confer with my allies before we make a move.
I understand. She nods her head, looks to the Grand Master, and he says, "That'll be all, Zara."
Reed will bow to her as she leaves.
He
Yes, pleasure to meet you.
leans back and he smiles and he says, "She is a wealth of information, that one. Now, you've come here to my monastery,
The day of my daughter's wedding.
and I've given you information. Now it's something I'd like from you. Master Underbow, would you be so kind as to perhaps give a couple of tips to some of the recruits regarding more martial pursuits?
No. Don't do it. It's a
All
trap.
it is some physical training, then I'm more than happy to assist.
He smile.
Ow, ow!
They smile and say, "It's really just that simple. As I said, I'm not gonna expect anything extravagant from you, but some of the youngins would love to have a real weapon master, someone that's truly skilled with the blade. I hear you know the blockchain."
Shut the fuck
Yeah,
up!
Colin.
You see, I've got this kunai with chain right here. You see all of this, and when they go to strike with it, I just hold it out, and blockchain.
I can't believe we
I
fucking
still
walked
own
into
it
it.
at the end of the day.
But yeah, that's all he's like, while you're here, why don't you show some moves to the kids?
Show me your moves.
The rest,
Kids.
the rest of you, if you've got anything
some
else to
remaining-
ask him.
I've got some remaining curiosities that could be solved in your library. I guess what I could offer in exchange is, I guess some of my tactics. Master Underbow is a talented fighter, but definitely on the honorable side. I don't have such proclivities.
Now you're talking my language.
Oh no.
Sure.
Well, while they do that, and while I'm training them, just for flavor wise, I suppose if I was going to help with these guys that are more about, the hidden side, I guess daggers, training them with daggers and light weapons like that.
Understandable.
Very finesse. Overpowered.
You find all the recruits
I teach him to grab his dick and twist it.
are
Twist it!
you actually find that all the
No, dick
recruits
twist!
are gathered around a TV just watching it. As you have to rip them away from it. Their lights, they say, "But Scooby-Doo is on!"
I was gonna
Well,
ask.
I
what was
can't
on.
interrupt that. I mean, come on. What's new Scooby-Doo?
I mean, it depends on what Scooby Doo it is, Colin.
They're all...
with Velma. on
Oh, with the
HBO.
hot live action Velma.
Well, the
No,
problem
it's a
is
cartoon.
that the only thing that they have to watch is, and it's on repeat, is the movie Scoob.
Oh boy.
Oh
So-
god.
I can't
Yeah.
believe
Get a
he
Game
did-
Boy
they
for a
passed
second.
up on Matt Lillard.
Yeah, I legit had to bring up his camera and be like, is that a fucking GBA?
He fucking- Motherfucker brought out the Game Boy Pocket.
With
Your
the
phone
fucking
looks like a
lamp and
Game
shit.
Boy.
Yeah, Max.
Especially the way you're holding it like this. It's like, I thought you
Yeah,
were-
especially the way you were muted too.
Yeah.
I'd rock a Game Boy phone case.
I see
Yeah,
it
that not
before.
gonna lie, that'd be dope as shit. I totally would.
Yeah.
Alright. I say, I'm getting sweaty and tired, so... Getting a headache.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so while I'm perusing the library, I'm gonna look for the name Von Trier. If you
Von
remember that one, Colin.
Trier. Send me the details, because that's another listed a name that's vaguely
That-
familiar.
yeah, I know. That was just Klaus's maternal grandfather. The one that broke away from the monastery.
Yeah. Okay.
I was basically gonna read his file.
Okay. That might take some time to find.
Yeah, I'm okay. Yeah, I'm okay with that.
But
I mean, you're gonna have to have some time to make some shit up, probably. So.
yeah, I'll have to look up all that stuff. But like I said,
He didn't have a whole lot of details beyond just like Klaus's backstory and like when he broke away and shit. So it's more just some opportunity to, I guess, gap fill if you so chose.
you are actually
How many
terrified
gaps are in this
to learn that von Trier is his adopted name. His original name was Smith. He was
Oh,
just
no.
he was just a normal guy.
Oh no!
It's
Oh, God damn
my
it.
God. What if
He
you were?
was so mundane. Oh my
Maybe-
God, he made bread.
Wouldn't it be even worse if you were related to Ida?
Oh my god.
You didn't even.
Oh, fuck,
When
I
I
kill
heard-
myself right now.
What's the guy's name again? Von's.
Von
Von
Trier.
Von Trier.
Isn't that the guy who-
Trier?
Is the guy who did like the Nymphomaniac and
Lars von Trier.
yeah.
Oh my God, we figured it out. Beaver.
It's true.
Is that really a guy that exists?
Lars von Trier.
Please tell me that's a guy that actually exists.
Yeah.
And that's like really a thing. Oh my God.
He makes
I did
really
that on
edgy.
accident.
He makes really edgy art movies that are 6 hours long.
Okay.
Boy,
It's
boy,
true.
I did that on accident.
He did Nymphomaniac and Melancholia.
Yeah, did you ever wanted to see Shia LaBeouf's cock?
Oof.
I mean, not necessarily, but I'll look at it, I guess.
I'm gonna look at it, but I'm not gonna like
As
it.
Well,
as a connoisseur, I feel obliged now.
Oh
I guess
man.
You can go ahead and see his cock. You've already seen his holes.
All right.
God
man.
damn it,
Does
Reed.
anybody else
I'll give
have?
that to you.
Fucking asshole.
Does anybody else have any questions? You can think about them. Come ask them at any time, because like I said, you're still going to be here for another probably couple days.
Or the rest of our lives.
Yeah.
It's possible.
The dragon
I-
may never let us.
Actually, I'll pop on the earring and be like, so Aruna, but how's the dinner going? Because I feel like the Bishop of Sewell is about to do some really shady shit.
Oh, this is the perfect time. Long
Yeah.
story short, no one can ever do anything because they're nice, kind, and considerate. We're once again having the people leveraged against us, and Adelaide's stuck in a shitty
so?
position. There you go.
How so? I figured that much out, but what's on the scale? I guess.
He wants to bang her and be put in place as heir, essentially.
I mean,
Well, get married to her.
the reality is
Okay.
he's not offered her a bad deal. You know, all
Yeah,
the refugees
true.
taken care of, all the
Yeah,
item
this-
that you're
this is the
looking
part where you
for
fill it in.
handed over. You know, he'll send troops to help fight in the war, because obviously if he's gonna have the chance to inherit Stalreich, he doesn't want it to be completely overrun.
Oh,
Okay, so wait, hang on. So he makes the lineage, right? And then he'll kill and then replace. Is that how he does it?
Theoretically, he could, or he could just completely spoof the lineage. Doesn't even have to
No,
have a
what
kid
I mean
with
is,
her. He could just say
what
they
I mean
did.
is like here though.
It
What,
is-
what I mean is like here though.
you-
That's how they do it here.
they
He does it
have
multiple
before,
ways.
but he does it multiple ways.
yeah, I was gonna say.
But the-
Essentially, what I'm gathering.
There's still physical other people for Adelaide to potentially fuck, essentially, besides just the Bishop of Sewell.
Yes.
Yes. He's like I said. He has no care about her
Okay.
dalliances. If she
So-
wants to
But-
constantly be pounding Henley, he's fine with it.
Well,
Yeah, man. You,
here's what I'm getting at basically. I am going to pitch Adelaide. Fuck the lineage of the Bishop of Sewell, so she still gets in their line, and then we kill the dragon and take the shit.
It's possible.
I mean,
That's my pitch.
That's some brilliant espionage. But long story short, what I'm telling Klaus is I think it's a raw fucking deal. But you know, up against the wall.
I agree. That's why we went back against the wall. We should go for the fucking throat.
Also, when I talk to Beaver or like talk to Klaus, does the Redeemer hear everything? Also, because they're like kind of
The Redeemer knows
what
what he knows.
Okay, I figured.
Yeah, he's attached not at the hip, at the fucking shadow. He
Yeah, I was
is a
gonna
part of me now.
I was gonna say Albert's gonna be super happy about that.
Well, I mean, Albert wants her to take the deal, and I'll tell you that over the earring too.
The Redeemer is a pragmatist through and through. That is a pragmatic
Yeah.
deal.
All he cares about is fulfilling the prophecy, really, or not necessarily fulfilling it, but like protecting it from, or protecting us from it being fulfilled. I guess.
And it'd just be
Preventing
nice.
prophecy.
Be just nice to meet somebody that wants to be nice to us.
Just to be
Like
nice.
open up a bakery, you know. Just, like,
Oh,
have
to be fair, the bug
kids.
the bug ant
Pay
people, very
mortgage.
very nice. They did send troops when they didn't
Oh,
need
yeah.
to. So
But it's in a food basket.
yeah. Anyway, it was really shitty. Ito stayed in the palace. So
Why
he
the
may or
fuck
may
did
not,
he do that?
because he insists that diplomat should, if invited to palace, should stay in palace.
He's gonna stay there and diplomate.
Yes. Otherwise,
He's
he may
gonna
turn
pound
into a
his
hot.
diplomacy.
I mean, like, we're so insignificant, and I doubt he would do anything. But Ito could just, be a fucking hostage.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. He's absolutely a fucking hostage right now. Like, I don't know why he would volunteer to have a gun at his head. Oh well, a knife at his neck. Sorry, I'm forgetting my time periods here.
Oh, there are guns, so it's fine.
I mean, the
Well, yeah. No,
let's
he's
be
gonna have
real.
a crossbow in his hand. Duh.
You know,
Yeah, crossbow to his head.
Ito's just one more hostage in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now he's one of us. Fuck.
But at the same token, Zara. Well, okay. If I'm gonna assume Klaus is just.
Yeah,
gonna
I
fill me
will.
in,
I
too.
will. I will
Zara-
fill her in on Zara.
I mean, Zara can make contact with Ito, seeing as they're played by the same character, man in real life. I didn't say that. I'm not Metamurph in disguise. I ripped my Runa mask off con and realized that I've been Metamurph the entire game.
Wait, did you say Metamurph?
Yes, Metamurph.
Too bad.
Ah,
Oh no. The Metamurph music comes on. Suddenly Zora then pulls off her mask and she says, "It's me,
Honky tonk time.
Metamurph!" But then puts the mask back on.
that's up.
You can only have one Metamurph per campaign.
No. Okay, that's fine. Anyway, long story short, shit sucks. People are threatening us again. Adelaide's always the one that's caught in the middle. Sucks a lot,
Well, there's always the blast our way out option.
Yep.
We
I
end
know.
up with more shit that way.
I also don't
Just
think
throwing that
that's-
out there.
I'm gonna go build an entertainment console thing to put my TV on. I'll catch y'all later.
He's got to watch pornos on it.
I mean, yeah.
Oh, boy.
I'm not.
Lars von Trier movies.
Oh God.
All right. So,
Conrago.
Connor's been gone.
Connor's been gone. He had to go, I don't know, yell at.
Yeah, no,
Someone-
that was,
someone or something.
I think that was Max.
Yeah, that's Max.
Max just left.
All right.
Yeah, but I just noticed that Connor's been gone for a while.
That's okay, because we're getting towards around the end, probably. Been playing long enough. Been playing for 3 hours, so. Like I said, for the most part, you kind of reconvene. You find that the Adelaide sort of locks herself in her room, perhaps understandably. You spend some time training them. You don't have to like stay at the monastery all night. They are able to lead you out. After you show a couple of cool moves, they show you a couple moves as well. One of the impressive things is in the dim light of the sewers. The kids play a game of like a shadow tag game where they're using their monk shadow step to pop in and out of shadows, chasing each other. Which is fun for them. You're not as good as it because you can't shadow step through the shadows, but they play with you. the night passes on, and I want everyone to roll me a perception check.
I can
Man,
do
this
it.
is the one and only check I've done for this. It's amazing. Oh god, oh god, oh jeez, oh god.
Wow, another one.
Damn.
I'm back, so I'm eating dinner.
And I got a 21.
We're
I want to
Just
roll a D8
reminder,
on top of
we do
that.
have a we do have a 20 in the back.
You
There's
said
Oh,
perception.
never mind. I just got a dirty 20 on that one.
I got
Fuck
an
yeah,
8.
dirty 20.
I got a dirty 20 also.
okay.
I'm distracted because I'm upset for Adelaide.
Do we want to use the natural 20 that we have? Because the game's almost over.
Does
Might as
that-
well.
I mean, I guess it depends on how.
It doesn't create a skill check, so there's not. I don't know. There's a whole point in that.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
All
Looks like
right.
mine would be a fucking 28, 26,
Your mom's a 28.
26. Sorry, everybody, I can't count.
It is at about maybe 4 or 5 in the morning. Let's see. That is Aruna and Reed, where you hear the creaking of footfall on the top sort of deck. Of someone walking around on deck above you. It's about 4 or 5 o'clock. Just light footsteps. And they actually depart from the boat. You hear them approach the dock and climb off.
Fucking fantastic.
Go and run up top and try
Can
to see.
we determine like how
Can I
large?
try
I
to see
guess
who
like
it
how many.
was?
Do what?
Can I go? Can I run up top and try to see who it was?
You rush to the top and you can see a sort of heavily cloaked form, sort of deep black cloak wrapped around them, make their way away from the dock, sort of heading basically down the path, past the guards who pay them little mind. They have pretty brisk pace.
Shibby dibby, I throw my bird, and Bert will follow.
Alright, bitch.
Yeah, I'm gonna check M's room.
It's probably Adelaide.
M is sort of face down on his bed, sort of snoring. His hair is a mess. He's still in his really nice clothing, but he's just got all the buttons undone. He just is sleeping.
I'm gonna keep checking rooms to see who's here and who's not.
It
Head
is
check.
The head check. It is indeed Adelaide's room that is empty.
Okay, Bert is following hooded figure for sure.
All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna get on the earring and let them know.
Yep, and I have
I'll
sent
be right back. I gotta pee.
I've sent a tail after them.
Adelaide, the owl soars above Adelaide as she walks the streets quickly, but she does not go to the Azure Vault. As the sun begins to rise, you find that she is walking through the refugee district.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The scenes
walking
of, her people just crammed in this one little area. Many of them sort of in alleys that have makeshift tents. As she sort of slowly walks amongst them, they pay her little mind. Most of them focused on what's in front of them, keeping their head down and surviving another day. None of them realizing that they're passing within maybe 20 feet of the leader of Stalreich, as she sort of slowly just walks amongst them. And she just walks. She walks through the refugee district.
That makes sense. Got a lot of shit going on.
It's a lot
I
on her
will-
mind.
I will inform Klaus and our boy Henley, because Klaus can follow if he needs to. Henley, gives a shit about her. That she's just going through the refugee camp. Thinks she's got a lot of shit going on in her head
She's
at the
got a
moment.
lot of thinking to do.
Yeah, probably.
But that feels, well, sort of with this scene of Adelaide clad in black, walking in and amongst her people, a refugee district where some 30,000 or so refugees now strive to survive. Only a handful, really a drop in the bucket of the refugees of Stahlreich. She just sort of walks amongst them and contemplates what she has to do. Does she take the deal or not? It's hard to say. We'll have to find out next week, though.